person.
These are corrupt politicians, fake news, the Comeys of the world, all of the bad things that went on. It's called the swamp. And you know what happened? And you know what I did? A big favor. I caught the swamp. I caught them all.
That's treason. That's treason.
He is a criminal. He's a criminal. He got caught. Read his laptop. And you know who's a criminal? You're a criminal for not reporting it. You are a criminal for not reporting it. Joe Biden is a criminal, and he's been a criminal for a long time. And you're a criminal in the media for not reporting it.
That's treason. That's treason.
If you look at crooked Hillary Clinton, if you look at all of the different people, there was no transition because they came after me trying to do a coup. They came after me spying on my campaign. They started from the day I won and even before I won, from the day I came down the escalator with our first lady.
That's treason. That's treason.
And we've caught them. We've caught them all. And we've caught them. We've caught them all. We've got it all on tape. We've caught them all. And
but should she lose, we'll have an insurance policy and we'll get this guy out of office. And that's what they said and that's what they meant. That's treason. That's treason.
They say, holy shit, they caught us. They caught us.
What store, Mr. President?
You'll find out.
Well, I can tell you, I'll be able to tell you that in 4 or 5 days if this keeps going on. If this keeps going on, it'll be substantial, and a lot of those jobs will never come back. But you're going to have a lot closer to a balanced budget.
Day 10 of the government shutdown, and the White House has said it has begun substantial firings of federal workers. OMB Director Ross Vought posting this on X, quote, "The rifts have begun."
Russ Vought is probably the most powerful man in government right now. He's the Office of Management and Budget Director. He had the same job in the first administration for 2 years. He knows exactly where all the waste is in government. You can cut, and these are useless people. They're not doing anything except pushing paper around their desks. And if anybody knows who and where to cut in this government, it is Russ Vought. He's been planning for it for the 4 years that Trump was out of office. He was part of it during Trump's first term, and now he's ready to go. This could lead to hundreds of billions of dollars in saving, and we'd get rid of a lot of dead weight in government because we all know it's there.
And you in this.
I'm just getting warmed up. This is von Clausewitz shit. Total fucking war. I'm gonna pull the whole thing down. I'm gonna bring the whole fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head. It's gonna be biblical. So I set out across that way to strike them down, to make them pay, change their ways, their evil ways.
And welcome, everybody. Happy Friday, October 10th, 2025. Welcome back to News Treason Channel 17 and Open Lines Live, your Friday night call-in show with the one and only Joe Rambo on the right side of the screen. And back by popular demand, the one and only Awakened Outlaw in the center square. Gentlemen, how are you doing this fine Friday?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks. Glad to be here. What a week. Just flies by, doesn't it? So much happens every week. Even to the day, right? It's crazy.
I got to be honest. This is probably the one I look forward to the most. And now that AO's here with me as well, two of my bestie buddies on the whole planet, bro. I love both you guys. I cannot wait to get into this. Thanks for having me, dude.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And thank you guys all for tuning in as you do each and every Friday. Please take a minute, hit that thumbs up button on your way in. And those of you that might be new or those of you that haven't participated yet, this is your show. We do this each and every Friday. I agree with Joe. This is one of my favorite shows to do because for a change, it's not any of us on the screen that make this a good or a bad show. It is you guys, and you guys have been absolutely killing it lately. And I would say the same thing I do each and every Friday. Between the three of us on this screen, we do dozens of shows each and every week, and we're all watching the chat all the time. And we see so many amazing questions and comments and theories that you guys bounce around in the chat. I know I'm biased, but I think amongst our expanded circle here with these shows and folks like Abs and Stormy, I think we have some of the most intelligent, most informed people in the movement in these chats. You guys come up with some amazing things. So I would just encourage everybody, as we do every week, we have a lot of new people. Take the plunge. It's very simple. All you got to do is go to on any phone, tablet, PC, Mac, whatever you may have. Simply go to openlines.live, www.openlines.live. Make sure your mic is enabled. That will bring you right in here. You don't have to show your face, and no theory is too out there. No question is too crazy. That's what we're here for. This is, as I like to call it, our little safe space for discussing conspiracy theories, as they might be called. So, or should we say conspiracy accuracies, the way things are going lately. So, yeah, guys, take a chance. We don't bite, and we love our regulars. We have a great group of people that seem to find their way in here every week, and we always love talking to them. But we also love and encourage as many people as possible to participate. So don't be afraid. Make up a screen name if you want to be anonymous, whatever it may be. But definitely pop in. And I also want to thank right off the top our good friend Scott Zimmerman, aka Beer at the Parade, for the raid. And actually, if I see correctly,
I do. I saw it.
He just
I
popped
saw him
in.
sneak in here.
Yeah.
Look, the creepy guy just snuck right in.
Let's bring him in. Scott. What's
Scott.
up, buddy?
Hey, Scott.
I saw him sneak in here.
How the hell did I get in so fast? I wasn't even expecting.
That's what she said.
Hey, dude, I know your seats are valuable. I'm going to duck in and duck out and open a spot up because I know you only got 10. Want to say hi to Dave and Joe and AO. Love you guys. I'm going to start a new movement for the podcasters. It's going to be called Tip a Dollar. And if everybody watching a show would pretend that we're piano players sitting in the bar playing for hours, can you just tip $1 on your way out? If half the people did it, our lives would change overnight. Literally. I mean, stop and think about the numbers and the views y'all are getting. I mean, that's serious money. Anyways, the other thing I wanted to do is to tell you that one of your regular callers, Sean and the Girls, is going to be launching his podcast this Sunday at 3 o'clock Eastern time on Rumble. So you're going to want to look for Conspiracy Therapist 17, Conspiracy Therapist 17. And it's 3 o'clock Eastern time. That'll be noon Pacific time. And I spoke with him last week, and I got to know the guy, and I got to know his heart. And then I just took it upon myself to pull in my community. And the people in my Zoom or in my Rumble all got together. One named it. One came up with the tagline. One, it was Mr. Leota did the logo. And so if you could just show what we've done, I'll duck out, but let everybody see. Dave, if you could share the screen, please.
Yep.
Thank you very much. So let's go give Sean and the Girls our support. His new name is he's going to be known as the Conspiracy Therapist. His saying is no one left behind. And I gave him the tagline that Yale PhD wrote for one of my support groups. The healing is mutual. So go give him a watch, give him your support, and let's help that guy go heal. I'll bring a lot of healing to our community. So Dave, thank you for allowing me to pop in and promote our good buddy, Sean. That's all I wanted to do today. And
hang on a second. That's awesome, man. That's great news. Thank you for sharing with us. I have an expanded number of lines now, so you're good. It's been a little while since you've been on. Give me your 40,000 foot view, right? We seem to be barreling towards the Insurrection Act. There's a lot of
I got a big one for you. I got a big one for you, bro. It's my theory I made 7 years ago. And I told Patty, we will know we're over the hill on the roller coaster the moment mainstream media, like an aircraft carrier, as soon as they start turning away from negative Trump, I'll know that the gloves are dropped and full control. And it happened with the Mideast peace deal. I saw these newscasters beside themselves. They had nothing to say except, I never thought he would do it. You might have hated the 99 things he did up until now, but that's pretty amazing. And it was on MSDNC and a few other channels. And you guys are the ones who stay up on that stuff. I don't.
But I'm telling you, kids, I think we turned the corner in the last couple of days. That's my 40,000 foot view.
Almost like a turning point or something. You know what I mean?
Hey, now. Yeah, but notice though that the booms are getting bigger and more often and more frequent. So it's
look, Scott, even the narrative coordination, like I don't know, I'm guessing it probably was on the calendar already, but like what are the chances that he announces this peace deal around, I don't know, I think we were on the air, Joe, so it's probably around 2:00, 3:00 yesterday. And the whole world, he's now solved and stopped 8 wars. And everyone's talking about the Nobel Peace Prize. And you wake up this morning and what's the news? They gave the Nobel Peace Prize to somebody else. Like, what are the chances of that happening?
Who would want it? I mean, they gave it to Obama for winning an election.
Of course. And I think but I guess that's my point, man. I think that's the reason it kind of went down that way. It's like, how quickly can we expose the hypocrisy? We have him end an 8th war, and the next morning we give it to somebody else. And you see, you give the opportunity for the whole news apparatus to expose how corrupt it is. I mean, I think to your point, dude, even somebody without a brain is going, wait a second, this guy ended 8 wars and he doesn't get it. What's going on here?
And the timing, because think about it. Yeah. It happens at exactly the same time, the peace deal, just before, and then they give the Nobel to someone else.
Well, and let's not forget that Dan Scavino gave us a white door with a golden 45 on it just before they kicked the door in at Mar-a-Lago. And what did he do just prior to this? The peace is the prize.
Yeah, because he cares about that, not about some stupid, prize that's been given out to how many terrible people to date, right? It's a globalist cabal kind of self-congratulatory.
Freaking coordinated.
Yeah.
And look, we played all the clips on a number of our shows. What was happening all this week as Trump is barreling towards peace? The internet is ablaze with clips of Netanyahu going, we're still in a war, and Iran's they're developing more nukes and they're gonna bomb Miami. Like, it's gonna be very interesting to see, obviously, in my opinion, optically, what goes on with Netanyahu in the coming weeks. Because I don't know, call me a conspiracy theorist, but something tells me we're not done with that narrative yet.
Yeah,
a safe bet.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm watching the chat out of the corner of my eye. People are getting the hang of stuffing the tip jar with dollars. This could be the thing, because I know that the listeners, especially in my chat, these people have hearts the size of Texas, and they love us. And they see a micro tool maker or a med exam pop in and drop a C note or a 50 here and there, and I know they wish they could do it for all of their favorite podcasters, and I get it. But we appreciate your support with your good words, your kind words. Sometimes you reach out to me and give me a word of encouragement. It means the world to us. But I'm telling you, if we could get half of the people to drop $1 in the tip jar on their way in or the way out, it could be a game changer for all of us doing this.
Well, Scott, I appreciate the time you've taken with Sean. I think he's actually here on the line right now. So we're going to get to him shortly. He's an incredible guy. I've had the chance to meet him and his family in person, as did Rambo. And he's been on a mission the last month or so to really get out there. I mean, I know you've seen on the show, he comes on the screen and puts his email up. And the next week he said, that's not enough. I'm going to put my cell phone number up. 10,000 people watching a show. He throws his cell phone up on the screen. So to know that he's going to be doing a podcast, that's awesome. Great stuff.
Yeah, bro, I've been on a mission now because I've gotten to know the people in my chat, because it's a blessing. I'm small enough to where I recognize personalities and humor and genius. So your chat flies by so fast because you have so many people in there that in my chat, people are getting to know each other and I'm getting to know them. And I'm starting to try to pull them out of the audience and get them onto the playing field with us, because I don't want these people to die with their music inside of them. I want them to find their niche. It may not be a podcast, but you can start a small Zoom hive like I have. Well, mine's not so small, but that's what she said. But start a little hive where you can put lonely people together and help people create friendships and share some pain and some victory. So I'm trying to get the audience to become part of our family, and it's working. It's been a lot of fun. I have Med Exam on 2 or 3 times this week. She's an absolute delight. PJW's been coming on. Sean's been coming on. Mr. Leota broke his cherry with me twice this week. Turns out, guess what, guys? He might be my Dave for Rambo. I love this guy. We have the same type of humor. And I only met him like 4 days ago. He could be my JF and onto my Sapioplex. Let's see what happens. but the great things are happening, and I couldn't be any holler. And I'm about to give you guys another Rumble rant, and we're going to call it from now on the $1 holler. So we got a name for it now. I just came up with
I love it, brother.
We're going to do Whip 'em Out Wednesday next, Dave.
That's old school.
That's old school. That was an old recall.
Well, Scott, brother, we appreciate you popping in as always.
All right.
Thank you. Keep doing
All right.
what you're
Hey,
doing.
give Sean center stage and let him talk about his big launch coming on Sunday. And thank all of you guys for all of your support. I see many of you in the chat who come into my shows. I appreciate all of you guys very much. And I'm on every day at 5:00 Eastern time on Rumble. Just look for Beer at the Parade, all one word. And I got a show called Untethering. And I'm trying to help people get through the second phase of the Great Awakening with as little collateral damage as possible. So, hey, I appreciate the three of you guys. You guys have been absolute wind under my wings since you guys popped in 2020 and breathed new life into the Anon movement. Love you guys. You're doing great work. Thank you for having me on it. And I hope you guys have a nice weekend. And you three Yucca Pucks later on, come in and have a nightcap with us on Zoom. All right.
Love you, Beer Bro.
All right. See you guys.
Yep.
All right. Thanks.
One of the guys.
I love Beer Bro. He's so funny. He cracks me up. I can't control my face. Makes me laugh.
We're going to jump into the calls in just 1 minute, but AO brought up something that happened today. I just want to touch on one thing. I'm not going to do too much more current events because we do have D-Class tomorrow night, and Joe and I got a packed show planned for everybody. But there was this little tidbit today of Qatar signing a deal to have a presence on a U.S. military base. Let me just play the clip.
We also value the close cooperation between Doha and Washington that led to the signing of the Gaza Peace Plan on October 8th. This historic achievement underscores what can be accomplished when our nations work together with courage and trust, amongst other partners such as Egypt and Turkey. We further welcome today's signing of the letter of acceptance establishing a Qatari Amir Air Force facility and Mountain Home Air Base in Idaho. This step strengthens interoperabilities, enhance joint readiness, and advance our shared defense goals. Mr. Secretary, together we will continue to deepen this strategic partnership in pursuit of lasting peace and shared security. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you. We wish you that.
Sign now.
Sign and trade. How about that?
Yeah.
Exchange. Gosh.
And people lost their ever-loving minds. AO, your thoughts?
Yeah, well, just real quick on that. It's just that I just go back to very simple things. I talk about liking things simple. I trust Trump. Trump's working with Qatar. Obviously, Qatar has been part of the Middle East process, and we'd have to guess, with the sword dance and everything that went on over there. I mean, the region, they're part of the world as it's evolving into this better place. So our golden age, but part of the world. And so when he does this deal, and they're buying a bunch, spending a lot of money on American jets that they're going to train on an existing base here. And I say I trust Trump, I just see some of our own people, they're like immediately, once again, light their hair on fire, running around freaking out, right? And it's like, hold on, guys, just like you just heard about this. Do you really think it's not a sovereign base, right? They don't have their own base on, they're running with it. And I just think it's just silly, but a perfect example of how people just don't wait to find out more information, right? And just immediately assume the worst. And how many times has this happened where it turned out not to be what it was initially thought to be, right? Yep. Anyway, it was just something that caught me.
What do you think?
I blame the Jews. I'm just kidding. No, jokes aside, I'm not surprised by this at all. We've been dealing with Qatar since the original capitulation tour. We were given a free plane. Crickets, right? So this is very unsurprising to me. It's just a continued narrative deployment for the masses. That's how it feels. Let's all just take a breath and see what happens.
I love both the answers. I agree with both. And I couldn't help but when I saw this today, I took a look at it. I looked at everybody screeching and I put my phone down and I said, isn't it interesting that one day after we create peace, and as you said, Qatar was one of the countries highlighted as brokering that peace.
Mm-hmm.
One day after we're in the Israel for last stage, right? They're being exposed left and right. You got everybody teaching the seagrass, teaching the public how much of our military budget, our intelligence, and the wars we've been in were at the behest of none other than Israel. And so in the immediate aftermath of that, we take Qatar and we stick them into this agreement and everyone loses their mind. And does anyone else see the hypocrisy there? It's okay when we do whatever we want for Israel. We can bomb whoever we want. We can bomb Iran. We can get into endless wars, but we give them we carve out a parking lot on a base and everyone loses their mind. To me, that's where I think is probably a secondary piece of it. I think it has absolutely a whole lot to do with snapping that narrative around Israel. Like everyone will go to church and listen to their pastor, and no matter what we do for Israel, it's fine. But you give Qatar a small piece of a base for training and such, and people lose their mind. I think that's part of it as well.
Right.
You said it much more eloquently than me. I was obviously joking, but I was trying to say exactly the same thing, Dave. It's over the target, bro.
Yeah.
And it goes back to, it's real simple. Let's go back to, do you trust Trump or not, right? Like, because you think about the moment and everything else and all the plates that are spinning simultaneously. If you can imagine a guy sitting there with, plates on his knees and toes. And Trump's just going to somehow willy-nilly kind of throw something together that undermines it all. It doesn't know what's going on. It's preposterous, in my opinion.
Yep. All right. So let's, we're going to get right into the calls. Let's just do it. Once again, guys, openlines.live. That is the link you can use to get in here. You don't have to show your face. Just make sure you enable your microphone. And as I do each and every week, we try to get through as many of these calls as we can. I hate having to end the show and not be able to get to everyone that's waited sometimes an hour or even 2 hours. So when you guys come in, please be as brief as you possibly can. Obviously, if we have follow-up questions, we'll keep going that way. But just keep in mind your fellow callers when you're speaking. We would greatly appreciate that. So let's jump right into it. We will start with LK from Cali. LK from Cali, welcome.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing well.
Well, obviously, I'm from California, but I live 5 hours from the Bay Area, so we're up by the Redwood. And I live in an area where it's pretty 50-50, and I work at a corporate grocery store, basically. And I woke up when COVID hit and 2020, and when my son had to be in his room and I was working and we had to wear masks, that just about killed our family. And then my husband was getting pressured to get the shot. And I said, well, you're not getting it. We'll just have to have God take control of our lives and we'll see what we can do. Well, they were kind of pushing it on me too, but not like him. So eventually we got through it. But now, I'm thank goodness for my friends that I work with, because we have our little group where we're all talking about all the stuff we talk about on your show or you guys are talking about. So I really appreciate the people in my town for that. Other than I just wanted to share. Oh, and then today, because now we have that Prop 50 or whatever that crap they're trying to vote on. Well, a neighbor 2 doors down just moved in and says, yes, on 50. And I was like, it just triggers you. I just got to control myself. So I just want to go and strangle and go take that sign and cut it down. But, you can't do that because it is a free country. So you have to let people be. But it's a little frustrating up here. But then you gather yourself with friends that believe your beliefs or, just love America and patriots. I appreciate that so much. But what I have noticed is the younger kids. The younger kids are awake. They are on it. My son is. My friends who are in their 30s, 40s, the ones who have their children, that just makes me still want to fight and be alive. So I pray for California. It's a hot mess, but it's so beautiful where we live. You know, my husband grew up here, so it's our home. So anyways, I just wanted to share that. And I love hearing everybody's stories from across the country. And so anyways, that's just me, but thank you.
Thank you. And I'm glad to hear what you said, because that's it's a big bone of contention in our community, that I think there's a bunch of people think that the kids are lost and a bunch of people don't. I make it very obvious what I see. I seem to see, especially now, especially after the Charlie Kirk thing, but I think the kids, I think the acceleration rate at which kids, younger people are waking up is far outpacing some of the other sleepers out there. They're the non-internet generation. They're the ones that are used to digging the way we do. And I think they're ripe to take this thing over. So I'm glad to hear that. And thank you so much for the call. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good night.
You know what I liked about that too is, I mean, she talked about something that we just kind of alluded to, or Beer did, and that's getting together with other people. That you have that in common. A lot of times, especially if you like living in California or other places where, necessarily maybe sometimes a minority, or you just don't know people around you. But she also mentioned her new neighbor moving in with the Yes on 50, and I believe that the happier you are, and by surrounding yourself with friends and such, that more grace that we can extend people, even those people we disagree with, right? Because she's right. Not everybody has to agree with me or you guys or all of us, right? I mean, we're all allowed to have those opinions. And even if some of them we think are absolutely wrong, I think redistricting California the way they want to, I mean, let's not even get into the laws they've twisted to get it on the ballot, right? Or the fact that, did you guys see that little poll where it shows if you voted against it? Yeah. If you mail it back in, you can see that you voted. It's so crazy. But I mean, aside from that, we can look past that and just, you can have a discussion with somebody about it, but we don't have to get angry at them, right? And I think because we want to be better people. I do, right? So we ascend because we're not the left. We're not the foaming at the mouth, woke-tardian zombies.
Good point. Joe, I want to there's a comment. I'm not going to call the person out by name because I'm not calling this person out, but I want to highlight it. Somebody after we were talking said Qatar is the #1 money flow for Islamic terror, and we're selling the military jets and allowing them to operate in America. Do you believe that to be true at this point?
I don't believe that research to be inaccurate. I believe the time frame to be completely inaccurate. Qatar didn't give us a free plane, and Donald Trump and work towards peace in all of the Middle East if there hasn't been something else going on behind the scenes. Israel included, Hamas. I mean, run the gamut. Do I think that there's still problems in the Middle East? Most likely. Do I think that our military intelligence is inept enough to not understand what's going on? Not a chance in the world. Donald Trump refunded, and when I say refunded, I mean funded our military to the point where they are second to none, where they were being defunded prior. Our military intelligence, Space Force, etc. There's just no possibility that what's going on in the Middle East isn't completely monitored, and I believe it's the White Hats that are in control at this point. So, sure, that is probably a very real threat that we were faced with. Do I think that it's still going on right now, Dave? To answer your question specifically, not a chance in hell.
I'd like to add something to it real quick, and I'd love to get both of you guys' takes on this. I'm of the firm belief. Who created Islamic terrorism? We did.
Yeah. Clinton or Bush?
we did.
Right.
We did. Okay. So the Islamic terrorism, first of all, any look, this, I don't want to get too deep into it, but this notion that people who wear a white, I forget what it's called, the thing on their head,
turban,
right, that they want to kill anybody that's not Muslim is just factually not true. Okay, that's no different than saying all Jews want to steal your money. That's not like go read the Quran. The Quran is not a book of hate as much as they want you to think it is.
Do you remember?
Not. So
I mean, do you remember Jihadi John?
Say that again. You broke up a little bit.
Do you remember Jihadi John?
No.
Jihadi John was the CIA, was filmed in a studio guy that was cutting off people's
Oh,
head.
Yeah.
Propaganda made by our own 3-letter agencies. I think it's a good example of what you're talking about, Dave. I didn't mean to step on you, bro.
No, you're right. And look, like everything else, if there are factions in the Middle East of young people, especially at this point in history, that want death to America, you know why that is? It might be because we spent 30 years leveling their countries. Yeah, I'd probably be a little pissed off if that happened to me too. But the justification we use to level those countries, which in reality, like you take places like Lebanon and Iraq, what were the real reasons for that? Well, they were trying to get away from the central bank. So we leveled their countries and we did regime change. But the entire, look, I'm sorry, this is just my personal opinion. You guys don't have to agree with me. The entire war on terror was a fabricated load of BS. It was a
war on drugs. War on drugs.
It was a psyop. Like, yes, are there always people in any kind of country that want to do crazy things? Sure. But we know 9/11 wasn't true. We know that was a Mossad CIA op, so throw that one out the window. Well, the shoe bomber on the plane, who do you think he worked for? All these different events that created this, and I was in the heartbeat. I was in the heart of it, and I believed it too. I remember driving through tunnels in New York City. Oh my God, are they going to blow up our tunnels? It was all bullshit. It was a CIA fabrication. So now when we sit there and we say, well, these guys are a state sponsor of terrorism, are they? Are they really? Yeah. And are they at this point?
Yeah, you know what's interesting too is when I think about that, and I think that we all, and I do this because I know it's true. And so as human beings, we kind of assess what's happening and we kind of project forward based on what we learned in the past, right? And so we kind of like placing these paradigms in place like, oh, the state sponsor of terrorism, or Iran just bad, or Israel, or all these things are part of the world order that we're leaving. And so we're extrapolating forward, knowing that we're going through this grand paradigm shift and everything is changing along with all these alliances and reorganizations happening on the level that we can't see. But we're still trying to impose things from the past as though that's going to continue in the future, right? Like there's a disconnect there. It's like, oh, and then just, you know, because Mossad is a perfect example, or Israel. People always jump back and like, oh, but I'm like, I just don't think that paradigm applies anymore. Like, you'd be right in the past, right? Like, kind of like you were saying a minute ago, Joe. You know, it doesn't mean that that's wrong, but I believe that we've changed course, and that course is significant enough that we can't rely on, oh, this is what's going to happen in the future because of what we did in the past, because we're just not even on the same timeline. If that makes sense.
I would throw one more question out to the chat. Who can name one Muslim extremist attack that's killed more than 2 people on United States soil in history? Anybody? Seems like it. I know there's a couple, but the point is, seems like if it was a major problem that we should all be afraid of, we'd all be able to name like 20 of them. So, in other words, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. Let me be very clear. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm not saying there aren't cells, just like there aren't everything. But the way they take one group and elevate it to this level of you must fear all these people. Don't look at the people in your government that are trying to murder you and throw bioweapons out there. Don't look at them. Look at the guys with the weird caps on. We got to get out of that mindset. That's just where I'm at. And I don't mean to go off on a tangent.
But Dave, we saw one come across the border. They put a camera in his face and he told everybody he was a Muslim terrorist.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah,
about that. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Let's go to, all right, let's keep going with calls. Sorry about that. I just, and guys, I appreciate the dialogue, and I see a lot of you guys are bringing up some very good points. So I'm not saying, I want to just be very clear. Not that it doesn't exist. But what I encourage people to do with any problem in the world is look at the problem and say, okay, it exists. But does it really exist to the level that the news or the controllers or the media want us to believe? And I think in the case of extremist Islamic terrorism, I believe it was elevated to a level that was way beyond what it should have been. And because of that, we lost 20 years where we could have been looking at our own damn government because we were all looking over to the desert. That's just me. In fact, let's bring in our friend, Dr. S. What's up, my friend? How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well, guys. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Dr.
Good.
S.
You know, hey, AO. You know, I'm kind of like thinking about all this. I mean, this is all clear about what you're talking about as far as making sure that we're fighting against each other so we don't fight against them. That's what this was all about. It could have been us in Russia. It could have been Jews versus Catholics. It could be whatever. But it seemed like the most contemporary thing that was in my adult age was always the Muslim terrorists. And I was raised Jewish, and it's like it really hit home. Like I'm supposed to really hate them, right? I'm supposed to, and never knew why. I was just always told to. So I'm with you, Dave. I agree. I think it's all pumped up. It's all made up, which actually goes to my question. And if I may, the 60,000 man army article that was presented by Mike King, I don't know, 2 years ago, really caught my eye. And, I think about that, and I think about the Q operation. And let me suggest something else, because you guys, I presented this before, that I think Q has been going on for a lot longer than we think. It's gone back, not just 2017, 2016, not even 2012 with Obama and all that. I think it goes way back, potentially even back to Lincoln. But with that said, is it possible that the 60,000 man army is a lot bigger, as you've suggested in the last week or so, which I agree? Amelia Earhart, L. Ron Hubbard, Joseph McCarthy, Senator Joseph McCarthy. These are personas that have been created, Howard Hughes potentially, that may be a part of this thing. And I'll even go one step further, and I wanted your opinions about this. Even Trump. Is Trump real? Do we really know that he is who he is?
We don't. Man. Go ahead, Joe. You go first. I love that whole question.
I freaking love that question. You are in my wheelhouse, bro. Well, first and foremost, there's two sides to the coin that I think was your original question with people like Earhart and going back in history. Is it possible that it's been going on that long? Or is it also possible that, what we would perceive as the Ghost Army has controlled a narrative to present something that exposes, especially to people that look as deeply as we do? I don't know the answer to that. I know that I have the same question that you do. And then as far as what's gone with Trump, I think that Trump is the main character. I think he's the main actor in a presentation. To be honest with you, I can't figure out if he was ever really president or if he's president now, because the presentation being given to us at this point is so controlled. Look, take it or leave it, guys. You can be mad at me if you want to, but this is truly what I believe at this point. I've been watching this thing play out, and look, it would be hard for you to tell me you love Trump more than I do. I got his face all over my damn house, right? I love what he stands for. My dad sent me on this mission, but we're legitimately watching some level of exposure operation, and I truly believe it to be so. And so how far back does this really go? I don't know. 60,000 man army. He'll be my last point on that, right? Mike King, brilliant job bringing it up. Dave and I have gone deep into it because of Mike's presentation. The drops also told us less than 10, 3 of which are non-military. Do I think that those numbers are still accurate? Probably not, right? There's been a lot of time between that article and the present time. There's been a lot of time between that drop and what we're going through right now. At the time, do I think that was probably accurate? Yes. Do I think the 60,000 man army is probably a little larger than it was then? And maybe slightly smaller prior? Sure. Do I think that there's less than 10, 3 of which are non-military that are fully read in at this point right now? Probably not. There's got to be a few more at this point, right? That's just logical, in my opinion. Who knows, though, if it was, Looking Glass or time travel, and maybe that it's still the case. But I just think logically, with as big as this operation has gotten, as many layers to the onion that we've peeled, it's got to be bigger than what we were told in both of those instances, and probably more. Right? Does that make sense?
Great answer. Ayo, what do you think?
Yeah. Well, I kind of look back. I love that Socrates quote about what I know for certain is that I know nothing, right? Because that's where I've embraced that, because it's the truth, right? I have opinions, and I'm open to those being somewhat fluid, kind of like beer's sexuality, and where based on changing information, right? You can change your opinion on things. I think this definitely goes back to at least Kennedy, but I kind of just stick to what I can see, right? It's fun to play, conspiracy theorists and dig back far, as far as like discussion goes and such. But from what I can see, I take a lot of it at face value. Like I take Trump for who he is, and I think that you could have both people that were, selected early on, maybe cultivated, I guess, what's the word, mentored toward certain positions. Trump might have been someone like that. I don't know. But what I do know is that this grudging, painful process we're going into, Trump being the main character in the hero's journey, right? The narrative structure. He's Truman in the Truman Show. It's going in one direction. And like I said, it's painful, and we have to keep dragging through it. I think that's a feature of it for the education standpoint. But yeah, that's where I am on it. That makes sense.
I'll be quick. And again, Jeff, I love the question. I'm of the mindset if they tell us there's 60,000, like if that's what they've gotten documents on, then it's probably bigger. And I also remind everybody, right? We all love throwing around this idea that it's a world alliance. It's a world alliance, and we have sauce to back that up from the drops, right? Well, let's just say the Five Eyes, because in order to do this, you'd have to neutralize the Five Eyes, right? So United States, Canada, UK, New Zealand, Australia, right? You'd have to neutralize at least those five. Well, then you'd have to make the argument if we have 60,000, they all have 60,000. So now you're talking about 300,000. And then the drops say, well, what if Putin and what if Russia and China are coordinating with POTUS? Well, there's 1.7, 1.6 billion people in Russia, in China. How many people in Russia? Like, you start to put that together, you wouldn't just like employ our tactics here. You would use that widespread. So then the numbers start to get really damn big. Who the hell knows?
Right.
And look, as far as the Trump thing too, yeah, I know there's a lot of people that aren't going to like that, but I'm of the same mindset. Look, I agree with what Joe said, and I actually saw a few people in the chat saying it as well. I don't know if I don't think we're going to know the truth about this, but we all talk about the fact that the more you peel back the onion, the start date gets more and more questionable, right? So in fact, Joe did a great show on it today. We're going to have a big show with a piece that Professor David Clements did tomorrow night. And spoiler alert, we're actually going to have him as a guest, not tomorrow night, but next week, on just that topic, on the Operation and the Insurrection Act. And the more you start to peel it back, we start to get back to like 2020, then you start to get back to 2017, then you start to get back to 2012. I could almost make the argument, and it's run through my head, that we haven't had a president for since 2012. I could make that argument. I can make an argument that somewhere after the 2012 election was stolen, we went into a state of limited martial law, whatever the proper term might be, and we actually haven't had a formal president of the corporation of the United States for over a decade. I don't know. So I don't think that's a crazy question, and that's why I've always said I hope it doesn't happen, because I love the person who is Donald Trump. Love him. But guess what? If something happened to him, if they wanted to keep the character in the movie, we'd never know it wasn't him. And if he were to exit stage left, there's a reason for it. But I agree with everything Joe and Ao said. Which is why, as emotional as it is, you can't just get married to Trump. Trump represents our idea of freedom and sovereignty and having a government that actually works for us. You have to get married to the idea and not the person. And if you can do that, then you can look around at everything that's happening in the country and realize that nothing can stop what is coming, because we're too far down the road. Something could, God forbid, happen to Trump tomorrow, and there's nothing that's going to stop what's going on right now.
Right.
Can I make one more just very, very, very quick point?
Yeah, of course.
We were told by the drops, the Kraken, multiple people, that it was going to be biblical. And so we took that as forward looking, like in the future. But if it's biblical, it's also historical, because that would insinuate that it's something that's been going on since the beginning of since 0 BC, since year one. And so if it's going to be biblical, then it's been biblical. There's the possibility that this battle's been going on well before we were all aware. Not only is it possible, it's probably the case. It's more than probable. And so that's why I think it's okay to look back in time and try to figure out when this thing started. I also think that's why things align if we look back in history and try to figure out when it started, because it not only is going to be, it is biblical.
Well, you can't forget future proves past, right? I mean, what time frame? I mean, to me, it could go way back, like I said, to the 1930s and even 1870s, who knows? So, no, great comments, guys. Great.
Thanks, Jeff. You guys you and Patrick have a show coming up tomorrow night?
We do. It's going to be on near-death experiences. It's going to be a lot of fun. And Joe, you joining, I hope, or did he talk to you about it at all?
What time? Yeah, Patrick and I talked briefly. What time is it at tomorrow?
Well, We usually come on after you guys, but we want to do it maybe tomorrow morning. But I'm flexible, whatever you can do it, because you need to start.
We'll figure it out. I would love to. We'll figure it out. Yeah,
it's going to be great. How near-death experiences relate to spirituality and what it's really all about. So it's going to be kind of cool. So, all
right, cool.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks, my friend. Good to see you. Take care.
Yep, take care, everyone.
All right. And I just want to quickly, before it disappears, acknowledge thank you to Kay Mulhall for becoming a monthly supporter with a Red Castle over on Rumble. Greatly appreciate that. Thank you.
Hey, Dave, I did throw this up on Pilled. I would love for everybody over on Pilled, because there's a ton of people supporting the show over on Pilled.net. If you guys get through, I've been throwing the link up in the chat. If you get through, let everybody know that you're from Pilled as well. If you don't mind me saying that, Dave.
Yeah. Let's go next to Dallas from Alabama. Dallas from Alabama. Welcome.
Hey, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Man, I was praying y'all would go to me because I've got to make this real quick. Rambo would probably appreciate it. I'm about to walk into an AA meeting. I'm 2.5 years sober today, or one day at a time. But what I wanted to call about two things. I have one question, and I want to make a comment, and I'll have to hang up and go back and listen on the playback maybe tomorrow or something. But so about 2 weeks ago, my wife woke me up out of my sleep, and she was watching some kind of Candace Owens video. And she was like, what do you think about Charlie Kirk? And I mean, I was not going to go into some things. I just feel like I can't go that deep with her. I mean, obviously, if I was to start explaining to her what I'm on the same lines of thinking of what you guys are, she might be a little too much for her to take. But she actually said to me that I feel like I'm watching a movie.
Wow.
And I was just like blown. I was like, she's so close. She's so close to being where I'll need her to be. I was just going to see if you guys got any words of encouragement for her. I'm going to try to get her to go back and listen to the show, but she's so close. And, like I said, I have to tippy-toe around some of the things. She knows that she always likes to ask me, well, who is Q? And that's kind of a hard thing to try to start explaining to somebody. But anyways, any words of encouragement for her on that? My question is, in my opinion, the most important thing that Donald Trump can do before he leaves office or he exits stage left for whatever reason is election security. Because I feel like if we can legitimately secure the elections, I don't feel like we're going to lose for a very long time. And I feel like it can be done. I just wanted to get your guys' comments on what do y'all think? Do y'all think it will be the next couple presidential elections are going to be like true elections, and there's not going to be any shenanery and all that kind of stuff? Because, like I said, I feel like we've got it. If it's honest elections, so what can they do to secure that? And do y'all think it will happen? Love you guys. Y'all are freaking godsends to me. I'm sorry I got to go, but I will tune back in a little bit later. Thank you guys. Have a good weekend.
As I say, keep coming back.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. Joe, you want to take the first one on there?
Sure. Yeah. First of all, go make some coffee, pick up some cigarette butts. You gotta be in service. On that. Second, let me just answer the election thing. Donald Trump said that he owed us free and fair elections. I listen very closely to the words that Donald Trump uses because I think that they're intentional. That statement in itself gives me hope. Second, he's told us multiple times we are going to find out what happened back then. Another statement I hold near and dear to my heart. I think that when he says it was rigged and something like Joe Biden, the other person got in, we had a dead country, now our country's alive. All of these things are insinuating that we've been going through a bit of a production. Do I think that there's a way to secure our elections so that we don't have the fraud, the mail-in, the drop boxes, etc.? Yeah. Donald Trump told you about watermark paper, and we know that there's such things as blockchain, etc. We can go on. Do I think that we're going to end up having free and fair elections? Sure, just as soon as the show's done playing out. Do I think that I have any idea when that time frame finishes? I don't. I really kind of hoped it would happen like 4 elections ago, right? Just like the rest of us. But as of right now, I watched what happened in Pennsylvania very closely. I saw what happened in Georgia, California, New York. Do I think that we have free and fair elections yet? No. Do I think that it's coming? It is probably going to be the exclamation point on this whole thing. 2020, in the way that it's supposed to be exposed, in my opinion, has to be. And Donald Trump's given us enough hints that that's what's coming. And I am confident in that. If I'm wrong, I'll be very disappointed.
And quickly, what advice would you give to him for his wife?
Listen, don't talk.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like she's asking who is Q. If you could get her to watch something like Fall of the Cabal, that would go a long way. I'm not a major fan of the person that made it, but I also do think The Greatest Show on Earth, which is only about an hour long, would go a long way. Like something like that. If they seems like they're close, you could try that. But otherwise, my advice would be, like Joe said, just continue to listen.
Okay. Well, Dave, let me wrap that because I shouldn't have ended there. So listen, and then when you see an opening, show just like one of the proofs and be like, do you think, like, what do you think of this? Like, this is crazy, right? Like, good win 15, or like, isn't it crazy? Like, tippy top, isn't this like a weird thing? What do you think of that? Just like a short one. It's probably a good tactic.
Yep. Hey, anything you want to add, my friend?
Well, first of all, good for him. One day at a time. I'm very familiar with that. Here he is on a Friday night going to an AA meeting because he's making an effort to make a change in his life every day. So kudos to him and anyone else that have fought the battle out there. I'm well familiar with that. As far as like to his wife, I will just say real quick that just on a macro scale, encourage people. It's kind of like a trust fall, right? And it's a little scary because it's just the general idea of like, we know we've been lied to about a few things that are big. Just imagine we've been lied to about everything, right? And so it's a little scary to kind of like come to that realization. But the thing is that people are already in there going, come on in, the water's fine, right? Like it's scary, but it's okay, And once you just open your mind up to opening your mind up, and I guess to pull it full circle in recovery, to say, if you don't have a higher power, do you believe that I have a higher power? So in fact, that that person doesn't have to totally believe everything you believe, but if they trust you, right, that alone is kind of like a foundation, right? Because you can help them along. As far as elections go, yeah, of course we have to have. I mean, who's not thirsty for actual elections where your vote matters and it counts? It's auditable. You can go online and check and say, yep, there's my vote. I mean, we should have all that. It's 2025. The fact that we're doing all this crazy voting, it blows me away. And Trump told us, Joe hit it on the head. He told us that we owed it to us because it's been stolen from us so much, right? And I trust the guy. He told us we're going to have that, and I believe it's going to happen. And I do believe it's probably has a lot to do with in-person voting, paper ballots, etc., as Trump was talking about. So fingers crossed, but I just can't imagine we live in a future where we're fixing the world, right? And then we're just going to allow it to be stolen elections again. That just doesn't compute in my head.
No, I agree with you on all that. And the answer I would give people as far as voting is, I agree. He promised it. I think we're going to get it. But what has the model been, right? I hate to always keep saying this, but you cannot tell the people, you have to show them. Well, what has the model been? It's what are we living through right now? We're showing people a presentation of Soros-funded domestic terrorism via Antifa to justify what? The ends have to justify the means. Well, to justify the National Guard coming in. And it's working, right? It is working. No, I don't think anybody watching the show is going to argue that. We had to show people critical race theory so that they go out to their school boards. We had to show people inflation so that they could understand how that worked. Our side understands election fraud, but it hasn't made it to the masses yet. So the question becomes, what is going to happen? Because keep in mind, it's not something you can change at a federal level. You can't. 12th Amendment, Article 12, can't change it. So then, what event or series of events is going to happen that's going to suddenly cause all 50 states to want to change their election law and get rid of machines? I don't know. Maybe something like the reveal of 2020. I don't know. I find it interesting that this story came out today. A GOP election official happened to buy Dominion voting machines yesterday.
I didn't even know this was going to I didn't even know you're going to show this, Dave. But when you just started talking, I thought Epstein. Think about Epstein, right? Donald Trump and Elon got in a fight. Now Trump's in the files. Then Trump's like, hey, it's a hoax. Now the left is screaming for Epstein. So how is it that you make the left want election integrity the same as the right?
Steal it from them.
And holy crap, there you go.
Right.
And it also occurred to me that because there's, I try to like play mental gymnastics and think about different angles on it. It occurred to me that, okay, we had the testimony from the whistleblowers inside, was it a couple weeks ago, that admitted that the machines were all made to be rigged and gave away all the goods. So we know for a fact now in court testimony. Now we have all this evidence that Dominion has or has hidden, and it gets now ownership changes, right? You don't have to necessarily sue to get all this documents to release all the information if you own the company, right? The owner of the company can just like give up the goods, right?
That's a really good point too.
So that's just one thing.
I don't want to put a time frame on it, but I can tell you this much: I don't think we're there yet, and because I'm seeing the Biden model seems to be like it's going to be about to be employed in New York with Mamdani. We're getting a plethora of insanity on governors' races right now. Like, how is it that New Jersey's got a Democrat that can't account for $7 million and wasn't allowed to walk at the Naval Academy because she cheated or was involved in a cheating scandal? Then in Virginia, you got a Democrat that refuses to denounce somebody that was calling for bullets to go in the head of somebody. The leading Democrat in California is a straight up lunatic that we got 9 clips of her screaming at her staff this week. The show is still happening. So I have a feeling there's something being set up for this election cycle. And if you ask me, it's going to be after this election cycle that we start on the craziness, whatever craziness is going to lead to the election exposure. And the fact that this dude just was able to, once again, like, how do you let a Republican get a hold of Dominion? That's like, how do you let Elon Musk get a hold of X?
Right.
Something doesn't add up here. And I think Joe brings up a really good point. I have a sneaking suspicion that we're going to maybe give the Epstein model a look for elections come this November. Let's see what happens.
I already have the cardboard cut out, so I'm going to block the windows and make the Democrats stand outside while we count votes.
Dude, I really think that's what's going to. That's a great point. Turning around on them. Really, really good point. All right, let me keep going here with. Let me go to Sheila Q. Sheila Q, welcome.
Hello, boys.
Hi there,
Sheila.
How's your Friday night going?
Oh, it's wonderful.
Better now.
You're watching it.
Dave, when you talk, the words come out, and it's all the jumbleness in my brain that makes sense, and I want to thank you for that because it calms me down. Because I said sometimes I'm going to go crazy, and then you say things, and I go, yeah, that's how it works. And Mr. Outlaw, it's funny that you're on tonight because I shared your tweet today on my Facebook page.
Oh, nice.
And got a lot of hearts and likes for it.
Which
And
one was
Mr.
that?
Rambo, we became friends this week on Facebook. And we have one other mutual friend. Facebook.
Don't tell anybody my real last name, and we're good.
I will not do that. But we have one mutual friend who happens to be my sister.
I'm just kidding. I don't really care.
Yeah, I know. Wait, I found Patrick, and you know what his name is?
Yep.
Cato Sensor. I go, God, that looks like Patrick. Oh my God, that is.
Well, at
Patrick.
some point, we're all hoping that doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. It's like, well, I call it Facebook because the last time I got suspended, it was for 1 hour in the middle of the night. So when I woke up the next day and I started looking at my account, I get this, you've been suspended. Then I look at it and it's like for 1 hour. And it's like, the explanation wasn't, it was just you were against community standards, didn't tell me what I did. And then it said, you're 1 hour, you can't do the normal things you do. And I'm like, what the hell is that? If that doesn't have white hat written all over it, it's like, come on, man, an hour in the middle of the night. I didn't even know I was suspended, but that was the last time I was suspended. And now I've had 4 accounts, and I went through all that stuff during the COVID time. And now it's been like forever since, and I put everything out there. I don't care anymore. I'm just like, and people get back at me and I go, I don't care anymore. A lot of things I like to do is like drop Q drops under stories of what's going on, like when the Delta matches, I'll drop Q drops, but I don't respond to anybody. I just go and look and see what people say, and I don't ever go back to say anything. So I'm just like dropping little bombs here and there, hoping someday one or two people will pick up on it. I don't know. But the last thing I'm going to say is there's a local talk show in the morning here, and I listen through iHeartRadio, and you can do talkbacks on it. And the primary thing going with the show is he does his stories, and then he plays the talkbacks of everybody. And lately, I've been doing Q drops. When a story comes up in the Delta matches, I'll do the Q drops, and he's actually playing them back. And his audience is total normie audience. And my sister's always like, why do you listen to that shit? And I go, because I want to know the pulse of where we're headed. Because if you don't know where what the normies are thinking, yeah.
Sheila, you need to record these and send them to us so we can play them on the show. If you're getting a normie radio station, read Q drops, I need that audio because I want to play it for everybody.
Oh, it's so funny. The host of the show says, this isn't the real Biden. What are they, and it's just like, it isn't the real Biden. Come on, man, just get over that hump, And they say things and you go, yes, but they don't understand what realm we are at, and I'm like, I always do, 4 years later, yay. It's just like, it's pretty hysterical. Like today, they were talking about gold and silver, and I go, what's positive about being a crazy conspiracy nut job is we knew about gold and silver a long time ago, and we're just watching the cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching at this point in time, because we knew this was going to happen, 4 or 6 years ago? I did anyway,
Yep.
I don't know about anybody else, but.
Keep up the good
Anyway,
red pilling,
that's
Sheila.
pretty
We
much all I
appreciate
had
you.
to say.
Thank you.
Yeah, I share it. Like I say, I share your guys' stuff on my pages, and I've got a lot of people to follow me now. And when I tag my sister, she's got like a gazillion friends out there, so I get a lot of looks, and it's what I can do to help the cause. That's all.
We appreciate you, Sheila. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic
such a good
weekend.
point.
Yep, you guys too.
Yep.
Take care.
All right.
She's awesome.
Yeah, sharing stuff out. I mean, it's great, and not just ours. I mean, it's kind of like the collective effort, shoulder to shoulder. As far as the signal, it's not any one person. It's our collective effort that kind of lifts that up above the den of legacy news fake media.
Yep, exactly right. I'm going to try to go to this gentleman next because I believe we had audio problems last time. Patriot Herb Doc, welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, awesome. Well, hey, listen, last week when I called in, I was just checking out my connection and trying to get used to doing this stuff. And I wanted to talk about religion, but my thoughts have changed. The other day, I went across the street to my neighbor's house. They were wrenching on their cars, laying in the dirt. And I wanted to see what they were doing and see if I could help. So I don't know how the subject came up, but it wasn't from me. These individuals said to me, did you know Charlie Kirk didn't die? Did you know Donald Trump did this and that and the other thing? And I said, well, no, tell me more.
Good answer. Good answer.
Yeah, and this was a situation where it was two neighbors that lived next to each other across the street from me, and so they were both on the same page, and so I just wanted to give a shout out to you guys that earlier in the show it was said that this is important for waking these people up, and I just want to support that movement as much as possible and not focus so much on what I think.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear what other people think, because that's what this is about. you and I are awake. We need to hear from these other people that are waking up. And so, and I'm going to let you go on this because I've got a bad case of the hiccups. I feel them coming on. But anyway, anybody listening to this, watch Mark's RESPECT show from Sunday last week. Watch it. It changed my life, and it changed the way that I look at things. And I want to share that with the whole audience. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it. You guys have a good night. I love you guys.
Thank you, my friend. Great
Thanks,
call.
buddy.
Enjoy your weekend.
What a cool hat tip from Mark. I'll have to watch that episode. I didn't see it.
Yeah,
Totally.
the episode is titled "Saving Israel for Last" with David Sorensen. It actually was a really, really good show. But that's cool to hear when you walk up to somebody and they say, "Did you know Charlie Kirk is?" But he brought up one just one quick point. What a brilliant answer. Tell me more. Like, I don't even know if I don't know if in the moment I would do that. Maybe if somebody I knew well, I might be like, no, he's not dead. But that is a brilliant. Tell me more. How do you know that? Where did you hear that? You know what? Versus that is why the drops were written in the Socratic method. What a brilliant answer. I love it.
People want to talk. People don't want to be told what to think. And there's a reason that this whole thing went down the way it did, because it makes people think and then they start talking. Then they go wrench on a car, sit around a water cooler or a coffee pot. Then they start to talk. If you just talk at people, they don't respond well. If you allow someone to speak and artfully join the conversation, you're going to get light years ahead of where you would if you were just Bible thumping or whatever it is you want to equate it to.
Yeah, you know, the veil is lifting, and you could see it. Like when you mentioned that, you know, these people, they start having a conversation. I think we're starting to all see that happen more and more as it slowly lifts and people are kind of waking up. And it kind of gets into the point that I've always believed that, you know, everybody coming to realize we've been lied to their whole lives. I mean, that's a big thing. And it comes to us, it's a very personal experience, in my opinion. It has to be, as it was for me. And then once you learn certain things and you come to understand things that you just didn't know were so before, like the human condition just tells you automatically want to tell everybody else that, and you want to get them up to speed, to have that moment, get up to speed with you in the moment. And it repels people, it pushes them away, right? And so it's just that idea of having grace with people, and you know, although I post a lot, have opinions that we put on shows like this, but when I'm in regular company around people, there's a lot of things I don't say because they're just the people in the, you know, that I'm around aren't at the same speed. And I don't want to, you know, that meme, I meet someone, start talking about the Luciferian globalist cabal, they leave, right? I meet someone and, but just not to push too much on them and to ask those questions, right? Tell me more. Engage them, as just said, with asking these questions and listen to them having the conversations and let them kind of have that blossoming moment themselves. And it may not be, and it probably won't be right when you're talking to them, right? But just to have that grace with other people, because you can't force it down someone's throat.
Yep. Look, there's a reason that I talk so much about my personal experiences down here, because Joe can attest to this. I've been here now, 16 months or so? I don't know what it is. And I now have a large enough sense of community where first of all, Joe knows this, I don't talk about what I do at all. There's people that have known me down here for a year or more and they have no idea what I do. But the reason I talk about it now is because as you know, I sit in the house all day researching and podcasting. So my thing is, let me go sit at the bar and have some sushi at 10 o'clock at night after I'm done podcasting. So I interact with a lot of people now, like bartenders, barbacks, baristas, people in shops, friends of friends, right? Like the reason I say this, because now it's no longer a small sample of people. It goes far beyond saying, well, it's just because you're in Florida. It's not. It's what Joe said. Like something has changed where people just want to talk. And I'm noticing it more and more every day. And the number of times that I have sat next to somebody and they and their friend are talking about Israel, or they're talking about some kind of conspiracy theory, or the day I was sitting there and I watched 5 80-year-old people talk about how Big Pharma was poisoning them and how they've each gotten off the drugs. 80-year-old people, retirees sitting at a bar. I had nothing to do with it. Like I could write a book at this point at the number of times I've seen this. So in other words, in statistics, it's like more, we've gone past the point of it's just because you're in Florida or it's a small sample. No, it's a big sampling. And that's why I keep speaking about that, because it's exactly what AO just said. I don't go out and talk about anything, but I just noticed the conversations people are happening now. And in a year, it's changed tremendously. And we have to acknowledge that.
Dave, I haven't even told you this yet because I haven't engaged. But I've been taking my son to what is a new lacrosse team. It's about 45 minutes south of here without traffic on a lucky day. But we drive down there and we're the new kids, right? I'm the new father on the sideline and he's the new kid on the field. And so I'm sitting there and there's a bunch of fathers that all sit together. There's a couple moms. You can see that there's a couple cliques. I'm just kind of taking it all in because we're new, right? But I can overhear them talking, and these are the conversations they're having. And I'm sitting there in a Ghost Army shirt, like just waiting for somebody to ask me something. It hasn't happened yet, but I'm telling you, I'm listening to their conversations, and it's everything we talk about. There's some debate. There's both sides of the conversation. I'm just listening right now, but I don't want to like jump in and be too aggressive. So I'm just listening to the conversations. But you're right. It's literally happening everywhere.
And for context, Joe, I'm not going to give away the location where you're going for this lacrosse, an hour away, is a little bit more of what people would consider a blue county. Just for context.
Well, it's just north of that, but yes.
Right. But it's close. Yeah. Yep. Good stuff. All right. Let's keep going here. Give me 1 second just to get.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be successful, right? Coming in as new guys and just start talking about all the things that you know, right? I mean, it just makes common sense, and how to make friends and influence people, right? Wasn't that Carnegie?
Yeah.
Right? Like, pay attention to how that stuff works because it matters. You just win more friends that way, and you become more of a trusted resource, right? You don't want to come across as the crazy person, although we've
Joe,
all been called it.
Ayo, you know what Joe should do? Joe should just walk up to the biggest clique he sees at lacrosse practices and be like, "Hey, did you know I cloned my kid the way they cloned Joe Biden?" And then just walk away. See what happens when he walks away. Yeah, my kid's cloned, just like Joe Biden, because he was never president, and Trump's running this military operation, and there's a bunch of people walking around in masks. You know what? I'll just tell you about it later. Let's have a good day. Just walk away. All right, let's go to Sean and the girls. Sean, what's up, buddy? Happy Friday.
Hey, happy Friday, guys. What's up? How you doing?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's going on? How's everything? And here's a double maintenance.
We are deprogramming the programs. Welcome to the Great Awakening, where we go when we go all.
Nice.
Why do you sound so matrixy?
We are deprogramming the program. Oh, that's amazing.
So funny.
What's going on? What's up, guys? How you doing?
Doing
Friday
well, man.
night.
Looking forward to your show, bro.
Pretty psyched to hear about your podcast, man. That's awesome.
Thank you. I got something that you might really, really enjoy. My wife called me in a couple of days ago to, she was working, and she was like, I think you got to take a look at this. ACF. Have you ever heard of it?
ACF. Can't say that.
Yeah. Okay, so it's the Administration for Children and Families.
Okay.
It's a government program. I'd like to know if you could just put that up, acf.gov, and enjoy and read what's in the red. Enjoy it. Because I know you're going to get a kick out of this.
It is red out there.
Bear with me 1 second. I'm just having a little bit of a
ACF.
I got you, Sean.
ACF. You said acf.gov, right? I'm pulling up myself.
Oh, it's ACF. Yeah, there it is. Okay, what do we got? Mission critical activities of ACF will continue during the Democrat-led government shutdown. Please use this site as a resource as the Trump administration works to reopen the government for the American people. So how are they still getting funded? Isn't that interesting?
The Democrat-led government shutdown, not the government shutdown.
Yeah.
Nice.
And how are they still getting funded?
Well, I think it's maybe because it's a show.
Yeah. Let's just acknowledge something real quick. The Trump administration is not working to reopen the government for the American people.
No, they're not.
They are working to downsize the government for the American people, and this is the excuse.
Like, I'm sitting here at this point, we're in day 10, and now they're just now starting all the layoffs, as we showed in that cold open. Like, I'm starting to wonder, like, how long is this thing going to last? Imagine if we're sitting here in January and there's still no government. Everyone's like, hey, everything's fine.
Because
the world's still going on. Isn't this is how they had to get rid of the senior executive service, right?
Yeah.
Which is the main, I would understand to be the main goal of this. That we're I don't know how, they entrenched these guys as far as like, they're not accountable to anyone, but they have all this power.
I think Dave made the greatest point about Red October that I've heard yet in all my years of doing this. What happens if you are in the red, right? We just had 10 days. We're about to break 10 days. The drops talk about 10 days, period, by the way, darkness, period. There's also 10 days with the number 10, period, Darnkess. Darnkess, similar meaning to darkness, but not the same. Dave's in the red comment has stuck with me so hard since he said it. Trump told you straight up they're going to start cutting left-wing groups and people and programs.
Oops.
I can't see this going any other direction now as we enter day 11. Dave, you're in the red comment. I'm telling you, just hit me like a ton of bricks. I feel like that has the Trump insinuated there's a submarine floating around nobody knows about with nukes on it. I mean, everything is pointing to Red October. 10 days we've now been shut down. We're about to start firing and laying people off and getting rid of programs. It is Red October right now in front of us today as it's happening, and it blows my mind. You're fired.
What happens when you get fired? What
right.
color is it when you get fired?
You're fired.
What do they say when a whole bunch of people get fired at the same time? It's a bloodbath. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll
Look at the stock market today.
Yeah.
Absolutely in the red.
I just want to make it real quick. I just want to say to you guys, for everybody out there that's helped me to put me where I am. It started here. Scott has been the greatest guy. You guys put me where I wanted to be, but the people that I really want to thank is everybody out there. The Anons, they're the ones that gave me the wings, to do this. So I just want to thank everybody. And if you can, put my number up there again, because I might be doing a podcast for one day, but I got 6 days free to talk to people.
Oh my gosh, you are asking for it, bro.
I know.
Right.
I'm telling you. No, but people start getting mad at you when you can't keep up. I'm warning you.
I've been keeping up. I've been doing what I had to do, and I've had those times, and you just get back to them and explain, and everybody understands it. I'm only one person. I'm human, but that's why I want to do this podcast. Is what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring all the Anons together. I want everybody to talk to each other. I want you guys to make clicks. I want you to exceed. I want you to get out of the shell. We've gone through 5 years. Now, I know it's been longer, but the last 5 years have been a shit show for us, and we've been the voice for a long time, and everybody's been hiding, because of what we've gone through between and the vaccines and all that other crap, and family just throwing us away. So it's time to just recoup, because listen, the mission ain't over. So we got to dust ourselves off and get back to the grind, because there's going to be people when they start waking up that the tinfoil hat wearers, we're going to be questioned, because shit's about to get real, and they're going to start asking questions. What happened? And we're going to have to answer for it.
I agree with you, brother. You know what? Tell everybody one more time. Do you have a time and date set up for this yet?
It's going to be Sunday at 3:00 up Eastern time.
I'm sending you a text right now, 609-8425. So you have my number. Just reach out to me at some point. I'd love to, however I can kind of help promote you, or even if you want to simul stream once in a while until you get up and going, just shoot me a text. Anything I can do to help you out, I'm happy to do so.
I love you guys. You know that? I really do. You're my family.
This is the way. This is the way.
I'll tell you the truth. The day that I stood next to you and I turned to you and I said that we're breaking bread together, and it was really important, and I'll never forget it, man. And I'm telling you right now, I won't forget it. Rambo, man, dude, holy crap. AO, I can't even believe I'm talking to you. I hope one day I get to meet you. I heard you.
I'd love to meet you, man.
Yeah, cool. I really want to meet our family. I want us to get together. And Rambo, I'm going to hold you to it. You said 10, 15 people. I didn't forget. I ain't that crazy.
What?
I remember you said 10, 15 people. I'll make sure I can get there.
All right.
I'm holding you to it.
Okay.
All right, guys. Have a wonderful night. And I'll talk to you soon. Have a great weekend. And thank you again. I really appreciate it. I love you guys.
Love you, brother. Take care.
You got it. Love you.
Dave, can I have 2 minutes?
Yeah, of course.
Do I even have to?
Do you remember this? Okay, so this was 1989. 89 and 17, right? Do you remember the Donald Trump character in Back to the Future, 88 miles an hour? Is it echoing right now?
No.
Try it. It is when I talk, but say it.
Hello, in here, please.
Hey, Big M. How's it hanging, McFly?
Hey, Needles.
So,
Needles?
Did you take a look at that little business proposal of mine?
I don't know, Needles.
What are you afraid of? If this thing works, it'll solve all your financial problems.
And if it doesn't work, Needles, I could get fired. It's illegal. I mean, what if the Jits is monitoring, huh?
The Jits will never find out.
Oh, God.
Come on. Stick your card in the slot, and I'll handle it.
There was another
I
88.
want everyone in the division to think you're chicken.
Nobody calls me Chicken, Needles. Nobody!
All right. Prove it.
All right, Needles. Here's my card. Scan it. I'm in.
Thanks, McFly. I'll see you at the plant tomorrow.
Thank you for using AT&T.
McFly! Fujitsu-san! Konnichiwa!
McFly! I was monitoring that scan you just interfaced. You are terminated!
Terminated? No! It wasn't my fault, sir! It was Needles! Needles was behind the whole
And you
thing!
cooperated!
No, I didn't! It was a
illegal.
sting
And
operation!
you
I was setting them up!
Read my
No!
facts!
Please, no, I cannot be fired! I'm fired! Ah! Oh, this is heavy.
Why?
88 miles an hour.
88, you're fired. It was a sting operation. What are you talking about? Why is it that everything in the past is coming true now? I don't understand. Two ties, 88, you're fired.
2 flagpoles, but back to it puts them in. Of course, they're 88 feet tall, right? I mean, it's so ridiculous. Of all the, you make it 90 feet, right? How tall is it going to be? It's going to be 90 feet, right? Or 88.
I don't know. Let's keep going with Don Ritchie. Don Ritchie, welcome.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, hey, I just want to give you guys props for the family that you put together as a team, even for the guys that aren't here with you tonight. And one question. How do you guys feel about what's happening with the DOJ finally putting these people that attacked Trump, of course, and are being prosecuted for things that they thought that he was guilty of or tried to make him guilty of? What is y'all's thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's a process of, I think we're just in the very, very early process of it. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Comey walks. But I think what they're doing is every day they're demonstrating the hypocrisy. So they're showing blatant, let's face it, a lot of this stuff is treason, right? And then at the same time, they're letting the mainstream media, at least the leftist media, go out and tell people that we've never seen, like I just saw CNN today say, we've never seen this level of lawfare used by a president before. Now, okay. only that 4 to 6% would actually believe that at this point. Like even my friends back home that hate Trump are sitting there going, well, actually, hang on, that's not why? Because we just lived through it for 4 years. So it's the absurdity level. So I think it's great, Don. I think it's one of those things that we look at for signal. Like, are we on our way there? Yes. Is there way more to come? Yes. Do we have to get more overt with what we show? Yes. And I still think that at a certain point, I don't know how or when it's going to happen. These things turn into tribunals. We're not going through the main justice system. Q said it so many times. We have 600 JAG officers in D.C. We're missing some piece of the puzzle, and I have absolutely no idea what it is. But this is my particular opinion. I believe, and by the way, how many times has Donald Trump truthed about military tribunals? Q mentions enemy combatants, Justice Kavanaugh. Q highlights that on purpose. There's so much stuff, Joe. I don't know. Maybe even we'll dig into that tomorrow. We're missing something that escalates this to the level of tribunals. I have no idea what it is. But to quickly answer your question, it's great. But I think right now it's more of a narrative that they're putting out to kind of really hammer home the hypocrisy to people of the media and the establishment. Joe, Ray, you guys play anything?
What about
I was going to say that the repetition. So, I mean, as our guys try to move the narrative forward, right? I mean, it's painful for us, and I just keep going back that one of the part that sucks about waking up is that, you know, in addition to having to realize you've been lied to, is that you just have to wait, and the wait can be interminable, right? Like you realize you just have to get in line when you want everything fixed right away. And so, putting yourself in the shoes of the people that are running it from a mass psychological influence campaign, right? It's not convincing one person or 10 people. How do you move billions of minds, right? Or break it down into hundreds of millions, right, at a time? And I think that has to be different for each country, different situations. But yeah, just the scope of it. I just have to let go of like worrying about all the dips, right? It's kind of like, oh, look, the Bitcoin's down today, but it's going to come back up, right? If I just focus on the dips, but if you look at it and you go back year to date, you're like, well, it's been a good increase, right? But we're so micro focused on what happens in the moment. And I'm kind of like, well, I believe, I'm 100% confident that we're going to win, or already have, and it's just playing out. So from here to there is where I see us going. I just can't get myself too worked up and have too much anxiety over the dips, because it drags you down. You know what I mean?
That's such a great point. And not only the dips, but also the peaks. Do you know how close I was yesterday to messaging Dave and going, bro, it's about to break 50. Silver's about to break $50. And then I sat back for a second and it dropped all the way back down to 47.50. So just as much as I have to, curb my emotions when it comes to the dips, I also chill when it comes to the peaks.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it closed the week up.
Why am I looking at the COMEX at 47.51? What's the difference, Dave?
COMEX is just the United States.
Okay.
That's just United States. It doesn't take into account other exchanges. It broke. It probably
the parallel
didn't break
between
on
the
COMEX,
markets,
which is why it didn't break the banks yet. But we're getting perilously close to breaking the banks.
Well, I think the parallel to just the financial markets, so any particular stock or anything, I mean, it's the same kind of idea, right? I mean, you buy stock because you believe in the company, and nothing just goes up, right? There's no parabola where it just goes in one direction, especially when you're talking about any human and a collection of billions of us. I mean, it's gonna oscillate. Mm-hmm. And I think, I just like when I worry too much about that, it's when my anxiety goes up. I just have to kind of, give it up to God, trust the people that like Trump and the White House that I believe are working on our behalf.
Yep. Don, did you have another question before we go?
Yeah, but I'll wait till next Friday. I don't want to take up too much time. You guys are amazing, and I thank you for everything you guys do. Even the guys, like I said before, that are not on this, on the team, that are not like P. Gunnels and everybody else. You guys are what I watch, and I thank you for a 69-year-old man that has been awake since Oklahoma, and know that you guys are on the right track, and God bless you all.
Thank you, my friend. God bless you too. Have a great weekend. Take care.
Yeah, much love, brother.
Have a good one.
All right. We're going to just take 1 minute before we keep going. We still got a bunch of people on the line, but since we're about halfway through, I just want to take 1 minute to hear from our sponsor for tonight, which is 17switch.com. Be 2 minutes, and then we'll be right back. We'll continue with your calls. In recent years, we've become all too familiar with the concept of the illusion of choice. We see it everywhere, in media, in politics, and unfortunately, yes, the same concept holds true in the natural products industry. You think you're buying something that's clean and safe and natural, but in reality, it's just another example of the illusion of choice. Here's a list of another 45 well-known natural products companies that have been scooped up by the big conglomerates recently. It's the same old story. A passionate entrepreneur starts a natural products company. The products do well, the business explodes, and then one of the big conglomerates comes along and buys out the original owner. It's the American success story, right? Wrong. What do you think happens next? The big companies leverage the brand name while doing everything they can to lower the manufacturing costs so they can make more profits and satisfy their shareholders, not you, the consumer. That means cheaper, inferior ingredients that are neither natural nor safe. It's the illusion of choice. Are you interested in getting cleaner, safer, and healthier products from a company that you can actually trust? I'm here to tell you there's a better, more patriotic way to shop. Are you currently buying things like this? I know everybody does. These are just a few of the items that we buy for our home, personal, and food needs every month, and a handful of nearly 500 clean and safe products that you can find at 17switch.com. Products that support a healthier, cleaner, and safer lifestyle for you and your family at a price that you can afford. Products that are made right here in the United States and support American jobs by a company that's not controlled by the big conglomerates. Products that are made by people I trust. So what if we all banded together? What if we all started switching away from those big conglomerates that wish to do us harm, the ones that have continually demonstrated that they don't have our best interests in mind, the companies that continue to support the same establishment and legacy media, and the politicians that have lied to us for decades. Let's start making a change right here, right now in our own homes. So please go to 17switch.com, get the information, get empowered, learn how these products can make your home a cleaner, healthier, and safer place, and learn how we can all band together to make a difference, to get the truth out, and to defund the cabal. And our thanks again to 17 Switch and also to the over 700 families from this community that have made the switch. And I just want to remind everybody one last time, when you do contact this company, you are not getting a call center or a rep from the company. You'll be speaking to somebody from the News Treason community, somebody you probably interact with in the chat every single day. So with that being said, let's keep it going and let's go to our friend Bria. Bria, welcome. Ooh,
Hi, Bria.
You're mute. You got to unmute yourself.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Hi. Yes. How are you?
Great. Hey, gentlemen, how are you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing okay, and I'm so glad to see you, Awakened Outlaw. I so enjoy your posts. They just make me laugh. You're just great. So I had an opportunity to talk to your friend David today, and I'm talking about David Becker, and we were talking about some stuff. And you're right when you said that when you speak to him, he goes into a QAnon conversation. It's great. Well, he's wonderful.
Speaking of which.
Well, hey there.
Hey, Bria. Hey, guys.
Nice to talk to you again.
Happy Friday.
How are you?
I've already spoken too much.
I know, really. But you were encouraging me to call in because of the topics that we were talking about today. So anyway, we were talking about the peace deal with Israel. And so I kind of want to ask you guys what your thought was as far as, because I think you're going to be on the same page as me But as far as how the peace deal is going, do you think that it's going to be long lasting, or do we think we're going to have somebody renege on their deal at some point? Because I see it as a setup for an exposure of Israel. Like somebody's going to be reneging on the deal at some point.
Yeah, there's two data points. Well, just logically, it makes sense if you're scripting it, because I think we're all of the agreement that this was probably done and set up a long time ago. So if you use that, then you say, all right, how would I script this thing, to your point, to kind of expose Israel more? You'd probably have them Netanyahu isolated and do something to break it. And the reason my gut kind of tells me that might happen is because there's two particular things that we've been looking at that I think we played on D-Class and some other shows that I think are kind of signal. Number one, it was last Saturday, I think it was, Joe, or Friday, when Trump put out that Truth Social post from the Oval Office, and he thanked 4 countries, and none of them were named Israel. He thanked Qatar, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, I forgot, and Turkey. He didn't thank Israel at all. He also did that again. He also did it again in his Truth Social post yesterday. The one that we I think we showed on the roundtable. He thanked the same four countries. He didn't thank Israel. So that's one data point. And the second one is I've just been watching what's getting circulated on X. And what's getting circulated on X over the last week is Benjamin Netanyahu going on these podcasts and everything else saying, we're still at war against, it's this group against this group. And in particular, he started beating the war. Now we have Trump on one hand telling us we got rid of, we took out all the nukes, complete success, B-2 bomber, all that stuff. And here's Netanyahu, instead of going out and trying to tamp things down, he's going around on podcasts telling people that no, Iran's rebuilding and they're going to have nukes that can hit DC and New York and all these other things.
Oh yeah.
Saying so the two data points is what Trump said and the fact that Netanyahu's out there openly still beating the war drum. That tells me that we're not done yet.
Right. From a story's point of view, this tells me that it feels like it's a setup to create the motivation for the final battle. You can't not have a final battle. And it's like I said in the podcast that we did back in March, when I said you can't have all of us going through what we've been going through as they slowly unravel the layers of the enemy to have a peace deal end everything. I mean, that's terrible writing. I would walk out of the theater if that was the ending. It's terrible. So you need a big battle with a lot of quote unquote bloodshed. And I say that quote unquote.
Go ahead.
Wouldn't you along the way want to squeeze as much juice out of those grapes as possible?
Yeah.
Right. You wouldn't leave any of that behind if you could. You would use all of it and take every advantage you could. And that's why I think it's like the perfect example is the use of showing the corruption of the judiciary by making us watch the grind of the judges throwing up their arms and trying everything, throwing down the gauntlet, trying to stop Trump, right? And then Trump wins, right? And it's painful to go through, but what matters is what we get when we get there. But that journey, the people had to see the corruption firsthand with judge after judge trying to thwart him.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of the same thing here.
Trump was asked in the Oval Office, I think it was today or it might have been yesterday. No, I believe it was today. If he felt that Bibi should get the Nobel Peace Prize, and he said, well, maybe he's very popular over there. No, he's not popular over there. He's not popular at all. But see, that Trump can't say that yet. He's not in a position to say that yet because the public at large doesn't know, because the massive protests that have been going on there for like 4 years, the same ones that Charlie Kirk himself called out, were hidden from us. So there's a gap there. There's a disconnect. And to your point, Bria, I think we have to do something to bridge that gap. And something like him breaking the peace deal, or I don't know what, but it's just amazing to me, the timing, or it's not amazing, it's just good scripting, that this peace deal is happening at the exact same time that we are seemingly reaching the most fever pitch level of open conversation about Israel and their deep state and Netanyahu that we've ever seen in our lifetimes. That to me is not a coincidence.
I would add something even on top of that, specifically while talking to Bria. In a movie, if there's separate narratives all happening at the same time, what I'm specifically referring to right now is the National Guard getting deployed all over the country.
Right. The other subplots.
there's all these different subplots happening at the same time. Like, I don't even, when's the last time we heard from Canada? Crickets, right? We have the Venezuela stuff going on. There's obviously a Russian narrative. There's a Middle East narrative. There's National Guard getting deployed all over the country. It seems to me that if this is a plot or a script, it's all going to have to converge at one point in time. And there's a reason for all of it. How I see that playing out, I'm not sure yet. But I truly believe at this point, it's all leading to one thing. Donald Trump talked about the submarines and the nukes on the subs, and they don't have no idea where our submarine is. We know where theirs are, but they don't know where ours are. Why does he keep saying that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Don't forget the Epstein narrative, which is we have the House oversight. I believe it's the
Right.
oversight taking all these depositions, and that's all behind closed doors. That's why we haven't heard anything about it yet.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed that they spent a lot of time letting everybody know who was all going to be going before all these people, all before these committees, and now it's all silent. We haven't been able to see or hear too much about it. It's kind of like, oh darn. Oh well, it would have been theater anyway, but
Well,
I guess
I think it's because they're holding it for the right time. Don't forget, it was Monday. I'm actually surprised more people didn't lose their minds, but it was Monday, this past Monday, where Donald Trump was asking the Oval Office if he would consider pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell. And he said, yeah, I'd have to take a look at it. He didn't say no. He said, the reporter said, she's a convicted sex trafficker. He said, yeah, well, I'd have to take a look at it. So you have that go. So there's something in the hopper right now that we don't have any insight into yet,
right?
But the timing is just
and that's part of movie plots, as I said on my short little talk way back, is that they do it. They kind of do a circular round, and most of the time people recognize it from a soap opera standpoint. If you understand, when you watch soap operas, they have one storyline with one group of people and another one and another one, they all kind of circular around. Well, that's sort of like what happens in a movie. If you've got multiple things going on that you have to bring to converge, it circles around and then eventually like it goes down the drain. You know what I mean? And you eventually get down to one tunnel hole. And that's what you're talking about, Joe, where you need to have everything converge into one main thing. And that's where we're going to start seeing the relationships, I believe, with all of the different people that appear to be in separate ways, and they're not. They're actually all connected. So yeah. Yep. Well, the only other thing I wanted to say, and I don't want to take other time, is that when you were talking about how far back did the movie go, or how far back has the prelude been, or how long back has this operation been? So I've been reading the script for Wag the Dog, and there's quite some interesting little nuggets in there that you don't notice when you're watching the movie, but when you're reading it, you actually get a chance to go back, because the movie is written by a playwright, almost along the lines of Aaron Sorkin. And you have to have the characters talking very fast in the movie to keep the movie motion going. But when you get a chance to read the script, you can see it. There's comms of 17 and 88 in there all over the place. And I'm going, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me.
Right.
So I recommend people read it. It's a little disorienting because the main character in the script that I posted on my X account is played by a guy. And in the movie, it's the Anne Hesh character. So they must have switched it up sometime in between when they filmed the movie and when the script was done, and they made the character in the movie the character that's in the script that's a man. They turned it to a woman and made it her be the main character. So you'll get disoriented when you're reading it, but once you understand what they did, it's very interesting to read that. So I recommend everyone read that. There's some really good, interesting nuggets in there that I completely forgot about.
Awesome. Will do. Well, thank you, Bree. It's always good to hear from you. We'll talk to you
Good to
soon.
see you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Take care.
Nice to see you, David. Have a good night.
Yeah, when you go back and you watch a movie you hadn't seen in a while, right? And then knowing what you know now, and you're like, oh, it's almost, that meme of DiCaprio in the chair when he's leaning forward pointing.
Yeah. Yep.
You see these things in a movie and you're like, oh my God, Easter egg. And you've seen it before how many times, but you just didn't know.
Yep. David Becker, what's going on, man? What's
Hey,
on your
guys.
mind tonight?
Well, a couple things. First, just a comment on what I think is happening with the split between the paper market and the commodity itself, the bullion, is that for the first time, you're seeing like a 3-point split, which is ridiculous. And the borrowing cost is like 39%. It was 2% like 3 days ago. So I think what you're seeing is that the paper market that has controlled the price of silver, because the banksters have been shorting silver on paper with derivatives forever, keeping it down. I believe what you're seeing is the end of that. And now the spot price, the actual silver itself is leading the way for the first time in history, as far as I know, first time in modern history. So I think that is what you're seeing, accounting for the difference. A 3 points is ridiculous. I'm sure there's like a that will, eliminate that. But my question is about like all these things kind of tying together with the banks, the insurance companies. What I'm seeing from my end in the insurance world is nuts. I had a woman a month ago, one of my clients, she went in for a procedure and was quoted $54,000. They charged the insurance company $1.3 million.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes. Like my company is going after them. But like she even went back to the doctors and said, "What are you doing?" And they basically shrugged their shoulders like, "Well, sometimes they pay it." It is so corrupt, you cannot believe it. An ablation is not a major procedure. It's not open chest cavity. They usually do it with catheters. It's when you have like an irregular heartbeat. It's called AFib, and they'll basically like do some things with catheters to kind of shock the heart back into its normal rhythm. Used to be like a $10,000, $20,000 procedure. I saw 1.1 million. It is absurd what is going on. It started with COVID, but it's gone crazy right now. And you got all the exposure with the pharmaceutical companies and the insurance companies. As you know, a lot of them are owned by the banks. So my overall question is like, is this system even savable? Is it we're going to go, in your opinion, like to a peer-to-peer system with the banks? Because if you go to like the U.S. debt clock, you will see messages on there that tell you like, hey, the banks are going to be gone. The government's not going to be involved and banking is going to be completely different. But the disruption that would cause, like the banks, insurance companies, pharmaceutical companies, doctors, and what's going on, this is all connected. And it is such a convoluted, corrupt mess. I don't see any, how this is going to continue, but I just wanted to get your guys' view on, how you see this playing out.
I personally, all right. So my take on it is from a 40,000 foot view, what they're doing, and I've said this before, is they're decentralizing everything. So we're decentralizing government, we're decentralizing commerce, we're decentralizing trade. There's no look. Is there really a need for a stock market? There's not. We have peer-to-peer trading. We don't need it. You don't need to pay a spread to a broker. I think that's where everything's headed, and I think banking is going to go that way too. The question, the $17 million question is, how do you get there? I don't know, because I've yet to see. Look, I think people don't like this, but I think crypto is going to be a part of it. That's why I think a lot of us believe there has to be a crypto component to what comes in. But the transition is the thing that I don't know yet. And I think, I know a lot of people aren't going to like this. I love where silver is going and all that, but I think we're a little bit of a ways off. I don't mean necessarily years, but at least a little bit of a ways off from whatever that transition is. And the reason is because I think we all know by now that typically when there's some kind of big change, it follows some kind of narrative from Trump, right? Like, they started with the whole vaccine thing, Tylenol and everything else. Later that week, he announced that Pfizer was going to be giving us most favored nation status. Well, just tonight at 5 o'clock, true to his promise, AstraZeneca, most favored nation status. So you see them starting to pick away at that. With the finance stuff, it's been radio silence on Fort Knox, and the Fed stuff has calmed down. So I'm waiting to see when they start ramping that up. Like, I thought it was happening when he was, dragging Powell by the ear through the building and talking about how they built in the basement and all that other stuff. But my short answer would be like, yeah, I think in banking, we have to go to a peer-to-peer system. I think in lending, we have to go to a fee-based system. You provide a loan, you get a fee, a percentage, whatever it might be. Not this, crazy amortization schedule with, daily compounding and all that other stuff. But I'm waiting to see. I'm kind of waiting for the rumblings to pop up as to what the replacement's going to be. That's what has kind of me racking my brain right now. Because David, you're right. Like mathematically, the banking system should have failed like 8-9 years ago. And now with where we're headed, the way the dollar's going, the way silver's going, it's even worse. But I'm kind of keeping my my ears out for when I start to hear Trump starting to signal something. Or I don't know, maybe you had Goldman Sachs come out today and say that there's a big risk in the stock market. Maybe there's a correction coming, and that sets off a series of events. And what would happen? We'd have a series of events, bank failures, stock market, whatever it might be. And just like everything we've seen, Hero Trump will step in and fix it in like 2 days. Maybe that's the play. I don't know. Joe or Ayo, anything?
You know, I kind of look at it like, who thought it was a good idea to let the Luciferian vampire cult take over the world and put in their financial system, which is evil for the core, right? Debt slavery. So our entire system, even as we're trying to fix this and right the ship, as it were, you know, we're left with this residue, this residual system that everything is intertwined and combined into everything. And so it occurs to me, like, if you can't fix a debt slavery system, the whole system, and it's, you know, the derivative market, and it's so convoluted because it's not broken. It's working the way it should have. You know, it's not by accident that we're 40 trillion in debt. But the point is if you're playing the shell game, you have to switch it over to the new system. You can't F it up, right? I mean, how long do you think it would take, guys, if there was like a Obamacare website launch where it was like clunky out of the box, right? People would freak out, and it wouldn't take very long for us to turn into that apocalyptic hellhole that you couldn't pull us back from the edge of, right? And I just don't think they're going to let us get near the event horizon, but it's got to work. So I have to think that there's been a lot of thought put into this, right?
Yeah.
By a lot of people for a long time. And it's one of those things where it's like, it's scary to think about the ramifications if it doesn't work, which is why, once again, I'm just like, I got to trust it's like you got to dance with the date you brought to the prom.
Yep. Joe?
And here we are.
I don't have a good answer for you. And here, I'll tell you why, just very quickly. I've always been a slave to like clocking into some job because of my background. This is the first time I've ever had any type of freedom, which comes with a lot of pressure and, responsibility, because like I have a son to take care of. I have a household to take care of. I pay very close attention to people like you guys that have like another level of knowledge when it comes to the financial system, because for the first time I am very high risk. And for the first time, I'm actually like able to pay, like very humbly able to pay my bills and take care of my son. So to be honest with you, I watch this every day shaking. Like I tremble, and I look up to guys like you that have done the financial thing for so long, because I just don't want to lose what's been the first time that I've ever been able to just like take care of my kid. So I don't know whether I should have money in the bank at this point. I'm so nervous the banks are going to crash. Like, should I take a little bit out of the bank? Like, I have no idea. That's why I'm just paying attention to you guys.
David, you know the other thing I'm keeping my eye out for, it was I think it was back in July when Trump held a press conference, and his I don't know if his AI or cryptos are, I don't remember the guy's exact title, but they announced that they were going to be launching a revolutionary new cross-border payment system. Those are the exact words. And it was going to be a crypto-based system where it was a 1-for-1. So for every dollar, there would be one tokenized blockchain crypto. What's the only piece that's missing, or that the gold and the silver to back it up? So they announced that in July, and then we haven't heard anything. So that's another thing I'm keeping my eye out for. That they announced they were going to be launching this new system. Now that would obviously be the replacement for SWIFT. So I think that's another thing to keep our eyes out for. And I would also say, on the insurance side, I mean, they're tackling pharma. You can clearly see they're starting to chip away at pharma. Obviously, with the reduction in prices on drugs, that's going to have a big effect on insurance. But then the question becomes, like, at some point, he's going to have to start talking about insurance and the middlemen and everything else that affects it. But banking, I think it's peer to peer. I think there's a huge market for. Look, you know this. I was in the residential real estate business, so I know what an absolute, I don't want to say abortion, but disaster residential lending is. Commercial lending is even worse. It's a disaster. If somebody comes up with a simple fee-based way to borrow money, they're going to kill it. It's just that it has to be pulled away from the banks. So I think, I think you said the key words: peer-to-peer. Peer-to-peer lending, peer-to-peer banking. I think that's where it's headed, but I'm just looking for the signals right now.
But okay, so obviously you're not giving anybody financial advice, but as like a friend, if I were to ask you, like, bro, the little bit of money I have, should I leave it? Can I leave it in the bank safely right now?
I wouldn't. I personally, I wouldn't leave all your money in the bank. I don't. Or if you're good, if you really want to keep all your money in a bank, use 3 different banks. That's just me. That's just because look, at the end of the day, this is not financial advice, but they tell you the FDIC has you insured up to $250,000.
Yeah, right.
Go look at the FDIC balance sheet and then call me. They can't back up anything right now. That's just math. That's not conspiracy theory. That's just math.
I'm taking my $300 and I'm going to the woods.
David, and by the time you get there, it'll depreciate it to 275.
David, amazing question as always, my friend. It's always good to hear from you.
Have a great weekend, guys. See you soon.
Thanks, brother.
See you, buddy.
Hug your wife, bro.
Love that dude. All right, let's keep going. Let's go to Nano 9. Welcome.
Hi, fellas. How are you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Hi, friend.
Well, thank you. Wow, what a show. Not too many questions tonight. Mostly kudos, which I was prepared to give also. But I guess I have one question. When are we going to find out that the state of Israel, quote unquote, the Jews, quote unquote, are actually the Khazarian mafia? They are not true Jews. They are not God's chosen people. Israel, the state of Israel, is a piece of land. Yes, that was the promised land God gave to them in the Old Testament. But the chosen people, the true chosen people today, are believers in Jesus Christ. All of us that are believers in Jesus Christ are the chosen people. All these, not all, quote unquote, Jews in our Congress, government, those who are in charge, the government in charge in the state of Israel, they're Khazarian mafia. They're murderers. When are we going to find that out? Can you answer that question in any way, shape, or form?
I could take a stab at it. As far as when, I would say probably not for a long time. To be honest, just to be dead honest with you, because the thing is, I think that's one of those things that kind of falls under the choice to know will be yours. Like a lot of people understand that. But quite frankly, if I'm looking at this from the standpoint of a 5th generation warfare, I have to look at it as what can I get the guy at the corner store that's watching the Yankee game all day to understand? Like, can I get those people at the Giants game every Sunday that are 6 beers deep in the parking lot to understand the difference between regular Jews and the Khazarian mafia? That's a long road to get to that point. What I can get them to understand is there's a small group of people in this little state called Israel, and they've been screwing up your life. That's why things are expensive. That's why your government's corrupt. That's what I can get to. So everything you said, you're right. I agree with you. I hear you. And there's a lot of people working very hard out there to do that. So I don't want to say it's never going to happen. But as far as when, like, I just kind of, again, I always think about it like somewhere there's a list of like priorities. Like, okay, what do we need to teach people? You just heard the conversation about the Fed. That's a big one. Got to teach them about the Fed and fake money. Got to teach them about, obviously, child trafficking. Got to teach them about, got to teach them about the 3-letter agencies. Got to teach them about the levers of government. And at the end of the day, although what you're saying is absolutely true, I think it's probably fairly low on the list as far as what that Yankee fan person needs to know to understand the world and to get involved in their government. That's probably the best answer I can give. I don't know, Ao or Joe, if you have anything else you want to add to that.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Joe. Go.
No, you go.
Yeah, I think you're right on all that. As far as like what there's a lot of things that I think we know that the general public doesn't, and it's a pretty long road, as you mentioned, to get there. There's probably some things that we don't know about that are probably too far, that we wouldn't want to know about, or they're too far for us, right? So I mean, it's a sliding scale. But yeah, I think the big takeaway is that it has to be necessarily kind of dumbed down is the wrong term, but we have to look at the mean, the average in there of the average voter, the average person, and what they can understand. And unfortunately, it's like we just have to know more in some respects about things than other people that are still being brought along, because it's about all of us, right?
Right, and I do believe many people are a foot deep and we got to go 1,000 feet. I mean,
Yeah.
truly, I'm not at 1,000 feet, and
Mhm.
I know on my pinky nail, that's how much I know. Okay. I know we've been lied to our whole lives. I've been lied to my whole life. History, as far as history, Dallas, who called Dallas from Alabama about his wife, maybe get some Mike King books. He might learn a few things. She might learn a few things. Just the ones he says, the NWO, all about that. But I, for 5 years, when COVID hit, I'm like, oh, you're kidding me, right? You people, what? I didn't leave it for a split second at all. And I mean, I just wanted to throat punch people. I really did. It was so difficult. I just got so angry at the stupidity. It's mind-boggling. It's still mind-boggling to me.
I just had an image in my head of throat punching somebody with a mask on.
That's what I wanted to do. So many days I stayed home because I thought, I'm too angry today. I'm too angry and frustrated. Got to stay home. I'm going to hit somebody because they're so ridiculously ignorant, and they're choosing to be ignorant. And that goes right back to the truth to know that, what is it? Knowing the truth will be your choice.
Well,
It's
you're
yours
right,
to know.
but you have to also take the good side of it, right? Which is, as painful as that was to watch, they're never going to be able to pull that card again, ever.
Oh, right. They are still pulling it with some people who are just going to continue to.
Yeah,
do
well,
it.
but that's that.
Yeah.
Look. There's always going to be if somebody says, there's always I'm going to jump off a bridge. There's always going to be one or two people that are going to follow. You can't do anything about that.
Oh yeah,
But-
yeah. And,
but,
many that I know lined up to get the jab, got many jabs, and they're getting the flu shot. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
What? How can you not? How can you? That's
Can't-
fear. To me, that's fear. How can you be so fearful? Anyway, I didn't mean to get into that. I'm very, I'm a widow. I'm very blessed. I have a great family. All of my siblings are awake, and a lot of their children, which is fortunate. I'm one of 13 children. So
High five to your dad.
yeah, my sister, and I do this occasionally. My sister, one of my sisters, is she's been just like, the best is yet to come. She'll do drive-bys, well, the best is yet to come, or
That's it. That's all you. That's all you can do right now. All you can do. All you
just
can
wait.
do.
The best is yet to come, and
Yep.
I've said things to people, and AO mentioned it. You gotta speak softly.
Yep.
And just listen. You guys have all
Yep.
said that because,
Yep.
I'm the crazy lady. I'm crazy. People just think I'm crazy. I mean, I walked into a place and these young men were talking about the transgender and the blah blah at school and whatever, and well, I guess I don't care, blah blah blah. And I did a drive by. I said, you better get off the fence because God's gonna spit you out of his mouth. And they just looked at me, and I'm like, okay, just shut up, walk away, shut up.
Yeah.
So
I just learned to ignore them. That's what I do at this point. I learned to
Yeah.
ignore them. Thank you so much for the call. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Have
Take
a
care.
good
Thank
night.
you.
All right. Bye. Let's keep going with Will. Will, welcome.
Hey, what's going
How
on,
are you,
guys?
sir?
Will.
Hey, so this past Tuesday, you guys were talking and you mentioned something that caught my attention. Some of the history that I've looked at in the past. You mentioned that the actual date of the Navy anniversary was on the Friday. No, you said October 13th.
I believe it was the 13th, if I remember correctly.
Right. So as soon as you said that, I thought, oh, Friday the 13th. So I asked AI, I said, what day of the week was October 13th in 1775? Well, it was a Friday. Well, interestingly enough, where we get the Friday the 13th ominous omen stuff was from the Templars. When the Vatican sent out orders to arrest all the Templars, they sent out orders on 1307, Thursday, the 12th, only to be open that night. Well, so to arrest all of them the next day, it was a Friday the 13th. interestingly enough, most of their fleet was in the harbor the night before. And when they went to make the arrest, the fleet was gone, which connects to the Navy again. I just think that was really interesting. And I don't know if there's a real connection in that, but there's definitely a Navy connection in that, because a lot of I've just also looked it up. Allegedly, the ships that Columbus used to go to the New World, they all had Templar flags on them. And there was a good book I read years ago called The Pirates and the Lost Templar Fleet. And they speculate that a lot of the pirating that went on were Templar ships taking gold from going back and forth to the Americas back from the Vatican. I just thought it was all interesting.
Yeah, very interesting stuff. Weren't the Templars just allowed back into the Vatican for the first time in 700 years the other day? Yeah,
they're back in the news too.
Which I thought was interesting, just out of nowhere. It's like nobody, and then that, who was asking for that? I just thought the timing was interesting.
Yeah, very interesting stuff. Thanks for the call, Will. We appreciate you. Good to see.
Real quick, I just wanted to say to Dallas, the two videos that would be really good for someone asking a newbie was The Plan to Save the World and The Greatest Show on Earth by Good Lions Films. Those are some of the first ones I saw, and they're still, I go back every now and then because there's still such good beginner stuff in there.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you on both those. Yep, 100%.
I'm going to tell you the person I've been most impressed with here recently is Clemens. Those videos are kind of awesome, the stuff he's doing.
Yeah, that's a little bit, but he's a little bit more advanced as far as somebody who is a newbie. But I have a feeling he's going to put together a string that's going to be pretty interesting. So thank you, Will. Appreciate you, my friend. Good to hear from you.
Thanks, guys. Keep up the good work.
All right.
The Plan to Save the World is good, I think, because it's high level. Just to understand kind of the core concept of what's going on.
Yeah, I agree. And again, I think The Greatest Show on Earth is good. Like I said, I don't necessarily agree with everything the creator does, but I'm not somebody that's going to pick and choose based on the person. The content is good, so that's usually it's an eye opener. I like that one. Let's go to Tutelary Spirit. Welcome.
Hi guys.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm over on the other coast, a little south of Tampa.
Okay.
I've been awake for a while. I certainly missed the 9/11. Lived about a mile from the Pentagon on 9/11. My whole house shook. And I bought that whole narrative, unfortunately, and woke up to a YouTube comment where somebody said, "Where were the engines?" And I went, "Oh my God." And so medical was something that I was always aware and awake to, but I have a gift of seeing patterns. I didn't know I had this gift, but I landed in like fraud examination in a lot of work, ended up on some federal programs, worked in the swamp, but wasn't awake when I lived there, which is, kind of interesting because I'm so curious what I would see now. But I wanted to ask and connect a couple of more dots. I love the comms you guys do. You guys are my sanity check when like everybody around me is like losing their hair. I'm like, you guys, check your emotions right now. There's more going on here. Like, come on. And they're getting better and faster at correcting themselves. It's great. And we're having much better dialogue. So I love it. But you guys are my sanity check. I can't always listen to you guys. But I do try to catch your posts and everything because I think your content is top notch. But I have a couple questions, and maybe people in the chat will throw something in that will enlighten us because you guys may not know the answers. My first question is, does 888 have any indication to something?
888 off the top of my head. I don't know of a specific reference to 888 that matters.
So yesterday, the newscast, the weatherman up in Tampa, was live on air, and he forecasted the temperature of Tampa on Friday, today, to be 888. And he actually has this on it. He posted it on his X. His name's Paul Delgado. He's at Paul Fox 13. It's a little strange. There's certainly there's something there. I don't know why. The other dot I want to connect is the whole thing with all of the women that we saw in white. So we saw two Erica Kirk speeches delivered in white. And then we had that connection back to Snake Eyes, right? And the actress that played the woman was in that very silky white with platinum hair. And she sees the guy, Charlie Kirkland, get shot in the throat, that whole narrative, right?
Yep.
Well, Dave, I hate to put you on the spot, but do you have that clip handy of Trump deplaning from Trump Force One with the Undertaker clip that you guys brought on show a couple times recently? I guess that was from October of last year, but he just retruthed it, I think, on the 2nd.
I believe.
So I'll keep talking, and maybe you'll find it. But if not, I'll just connect it. So here's something interesting that I don't know if anyone caught. So that woman that played that part on Snake Eyes, her name's Carla Gugino. So a movie came out on Amazon Prime on July the 2nd called Heads of State. And she happens to play a role in that movie. She's the vice president. And guess what her name is? Elizabeth Kirk.
Interesting.
That
Very
movie, I've not seen it, but that movie is about Air Force One. I believe, I didn't watch it, but I think it's somewhere over in Europe or whatever. And the UK Prime Minister is on board and the plane gets shot down. And they are the only 2 survivors by parachute. And they recognize that, there's some kind of conspiracy, and they're trying to figure out who it is. And it turns out it's the VP.
Very interesting.
Wait, what's the movie called again?
Heads of State.
Heads of State. So what caught me is that in that clip where Trump is deplaning Trump Force One, most people don't pay attention to this, but I was like, there's a comm here. If you watch as he gets onto the tarmac, and there's all the people walking backwards trying to get their shots and all this stuff, right? There's a woman with platinum blonde hair and a white suit. What is that? What is the comms with the women in the white suit? There's a reason they keep showing it to us, and I don't know why. It's at like 43 seconds. And so while you're showing that, I'll just go on and do a few other.
Well, the whole clip is only about 45 seconds. Oh, you see it right there.
Yeah. What is that?
Yeah.
The follow the wives thing with Erica Kirk certainly comes into play. And it's just that white suit for a woman. It's so obvious.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. I'm not really sure off the top of my head. I mean, we've definitely seen people wear white. Could be a simple as a white hat comm. I'm not sure. There was a lot of other stuff I was reading into with that particular clip and with the Undertaker, but it's interesting. It's possible.
I'm gonna check out that movie.
Yeah, I think it's useful to watch. And then the last piece of that I'll throw in here is, so the president in that movie is played by John Cena, and he's totally got to be read it. What I say about the 60,000 army, because I just can't get people to get their heads around it. I just say these people are read into a script, you guys. Like, they know a little bit of something, and John Cena is definitely one of them. There's pictures of him shaking hands with and interacting with John. He has 17 world championships, and there's
he's pretty based.
Yeah, there's sort of all sorts of things. And then the last thing I'll say, and then I'll jump off here so you can get through the rest of the people, is another person who I think is also read into the script is Cheryl Atkinson. Her show's Full Measure. And she just did a piece. She was in El Salvador, and she's talking to the guy who Bukele put in charge of, cleaning up, the military guy he put in charge of cleaning up the country, right? And she's having this whole thing, and they're shooting shots around town and that. And they show these couple of guys, kids, playing basketball out on, like a half court or something. And the she's sitting there with all these military guys around here, and the kid's jersey is 22. I'm like, okay, thanks. Wink, wink, got it. So anyway,
nice.
I'll let you guys go. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the call. Thanks for calling in. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Joe, did you write that movie down? Joe Rambo?
I'm watching the trailer as we spoke. It's pretty interesting.
All right. Write that one down. That's a good one to look into.
I already got it saved.
All right. Good stuff. Let's go to Belinda Price. Belinda Price, welcome.
Hey guys, what's up?
How are you?
Hey, Belinda.
I I don't have any questions. I just wanted to get on here and tell y'all how much I love you guys and enjoy you every single day. I read your X post. I read your Telegram post. I comment. I share. I repost. Y'all are phenomenal. You really are. And I hope. I live in Texas. I lived in a little town called Weatherford, just outside of Fort Worth, Texas. And I hope someday that I can come to something that you're at, whether it's in Vegas or Florida or wherever it is. I really would love to meet you guys and buy you all a beer and sit down. And,
Belinda, there is one that's public right now in Threadfest. Patrick's throwing a Threadfest in Texas. I know Texas is a big state, but if you check in with Patrick Gunnels, you'll find he's doing an event in March in Texas.
Yeah, I saw the show the other day when he was on there talking about that, and I think he said it was in Dallas, which is I have a son in Fort Worth and a son in Richardson, which is just north of Dallas. So going to Dallas is no big deal for me at all. And I did tell myself I need to check into that and try to make that because I love Patrick too. He's amazing. He really is. And it just blows me away. I bet he is just the sweetest, funnest daddy. That little girl already has him so wrapped.
Our first word is going to be faggot.
Yeah. By the way, I love it when Joe cracks up. I just, when he cracks up, I crack up. I've laughed out loud in my apartment so many times sitting here by myself. And, listening to her talk about wanting to throat punch people, it's probably a good thing that I ended up divorced 13 years ago because I could have never, ever gone through this with him. Oh my gosh, never. Yeah. It would have not been pretty. He would have probably had me committed. So anyway, but I love you guys and I appreciate everything you do.
Well. Thank you, Belinda. Appreciate you.
All right.
I would say the same. I've told you guys the same thing about my ex. She was a pharmaceutical rep and she was adored Joe Biden. So if it didn't happen in 2014, it definitely would have happened by 2017. Let's go to Jason Q. Jason Q, welcome.
How you guys doing?
Doing well, my friend.
Hey, buddy.
Hilarious. So I had an option with my family members, but I'm not gonna go there because a couple callers went back and it's like, how do you introduce one of the 4 to 6% of my sisters who they're just lost? It's just we tried to talk to her about Tylenol and she was just telling me I'm an idiot. Whatever. Okay, but I want to ask you about C before D. Okay, so it's Colby. So I have an employee. Well, he moved to another job, but we always kept contact because we're Q followers. And we're trying to figure out D. And we know Comey's up. And then he asked me about D. And I think I sent him a text thinking it's Daniel Ritchie. I'm wondering, what do you guys think?
I personally don't have an opinion on it yet because I've seen so many different theories that I don't think we have one that's cohesive yet. So that's one I kind of just leave it in the. When there's something like that where there's no way to even we could say it's. Some people have said it's Comey before D-Class. Some people have said it's I forget what else. People have all these different theories, which is great. But the thing is, if there's no way to verify it, then I kind of just let it be. I'm agnostic on it. I don't have an opinion on it yet because there's nothing to tie it to that I know of. Joe, you have any opinion?
Unfortunately, I'm not going to give you much more than Dave just did. Dave and I think very similarly, and I don't. There's a bunch of things that are debated, and I don't have a conclusion yet.
It's true. They finish each other's sentences. No, I digress. Yeah, I mean, we don't know. Sometimes I believe, there's double meanings, right? So it's kind of as crazy as all this is, we're going to probably find out that a lot of things we thought we had could mean multiple things simultaneously. I don't know. So that's just one of the things like these guys, I just kind of sit back and let it happen.
I also wonder sometimes if not everything on the boards is even gonna play out. Like we know misinformation is necessary. Like there might have been things that have been stuck in there that may never come to fruition. That it's just it was in there because look, some people make the argument. I don't know. I tend to think the more I dissect this operation, I think by the time they actually publicly launched the Q posts, like I don't think there's anything they put in there that the enemy could have read that could have really done any significant damage. In fact, there was a drop that even kind of alluded to that. But maybe it was a misdirection play, or like I said, that could be one of those. Like I think if that is going to get validated, there's going to be something that hits it. Like Joe certainly knows one of our favorite proofs that we got to watch in real time was good win 15, right? The 15, the kill brackets, and the vote going on the 15. Now that drop meant nothing for whatever it was, 5-6 years. It meant absolutely nothing to anybody until the day that happened, and we were like, oh my god. So with something like that, it's fun to play around with it, but I just think that if it's going to get validated, that there's going to be some kind of proof or event that's going to tie to it, and then we're going to all look and go, that's what I was the whole time.
Look, I'll give just a little bit more depth so I don't sound so vague.
Right on, Joe. Do it.
There are a few that I find interesting. Well, I mean, Comey before D-Class is kind of obvious right now. Like if what we're watching play out has anything to do with that drop, the Comey before D-Class would be interesting. The other one I find interesting is Coates before D-Class. Right. If you look at the timing, we're going into winter. And that would play into 11.3 being a date rather than just something in the Law of War manual and the other examples we have 11.3. But again,
also don't keep in mind Dan Coates was the director of the NSA from 2017 to 2019.
Correct.
So that's another one that connects to Coates like double meaning. That's another interesting one.
Multiple
meanings.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, when I'm talking to my coworker, well, ex-coworker, but we're still friends and stuff, it's just, we're trying to figure it out. And he listens to you guys, and I listen to you guys, and we're trying to, it's soothing to know that we got people like you we can actually like say, okay, push the pedal on the brake, and like you guys said, it's double meaning. You can't let the enemy know, because they know they're reading the boards. Okay.
Yeah.
Difficult.
Jason, you know how I do it, and I don't, especially me being, I guess, a second gen anon, so I didn't live through the drops in real time. I kind of categorize them into two things, right? There's informational posts, right? Like, for example, Q talks about, you are being provided the highest level of, intelligence that's ever given in human history. Use it to comfort those around you. Or where Q tells you about Huber and Horowitz having a staff of 470 people, right? That's like informational. It's data points. It's real. It's there. It means more every time we go through it. And then there's like the cryptic stuff like that. And I think the cryptic stuff typically tends to be the stuff that really falls into the category of future proofs past, where it's kind of like it's there. You have no idea if it's going to mean something. It may never mean something. And then all of a sudden, one day something happens and it makes sense.
It's kind of weird because you guys give us so much information, but you give us information that makes us think like the opposite. And you'll say something, I'm like going, what the fuck? I didn't even think about that. And it blows my mind. And you guys are just awesome. The way you guys do the stuff you do, I totally appreciate it. And guys, keep rocking on, man.
Thank you, my friend.
You're far too kind.
I got one more quick that I think of with C4D that most people don't apply, and I don't get called Stretch Armstrong for no reason. But C4D would inflate 3-4. Which is a super famous, interesting drop.
Yep.
What?
34 is Q clearance Patriot, right? 11.3.
Yeah.
Well, in that, I don't have the drop in front of me, but in that drop is C and D are they both in kill brackets?
C before D. I have 34 pulled up right now, which is my fellow Americans over the course of the next several days. You will undoubtedly realize. But B before D is both in kill brackets, if I remember.
So then you could take that as 34 in the kill bracket.
C before D. There actually is a drop 3570 that says Coates before D class. The month 34. Of August is traditionally very hot, which insinuates the double meaning I was talking about. Yeah. You have more than you know. And yes, 34. Go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at that same drop, 3570. There's only 4 letters in kill brackets. CD, CD. So 34, 34. Maybe.
Wow.
Maybe. That's an interesting one.
Wow.
So just like you right there, I was like, wow, I hadn't thought about that. See, you got something coming.
Yeah.
That's how it goes for all of us, right?
And 34, if you actually put them together, is a week to remember, Q. 7/14/2019.
Does that happen in October?
Who knows? You know how many weeks we've had to remember at this point?
Yeah. Nobody knows. If I could give one piece of advice to any anon in the world when they first get into this, no matter where they are, is don't ever use the board to try to predict the future.
Right?
Who knows? No one knows. No one knows. Just wake up and enjoy the show every day.
Oh God, it's a movie.
Yep. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate the call. Great question.
Right on. Thanks, guys.
Right on, buddy.
Right. Take care. All right, let's keep going with Garden Miss 216. Welcome.
Hey guys.
How are you?
Glad to see you again. Wow. I was not going to call in today. I had a really busy day. And I figured I'd come home and catch up on what was going on. And wow, a lot has been going on. I'd like to comment on a few things because I've written some notes, as I always do, because I don't want to get flustered on your show.
Okay. If you could just keep in mind, we're in the final 15 minutes here, and we have a few.
I know, guys. I know. I always get in on the end. So on RSBN today, Trump had a speech, and at the 1 hour and 50-minute 0.32 timestamp on RSBN, Trump says to Bobby Kennedy, "Thank you, Mr. Vice President." Is that not bizarre? Is that not bizarre?
Wait.
Are you certain he said that to
Yeah. Give me that timestamp again, young lady.
1 hour.
And this is today?
It's on RSBN at 5 o'clock. He was making a speech on RSBN at the 1 hour, 50-minute 0.32 seconds. RSBN, Trump says to Bobby Kennedy, "Thank you, Mr. Vice President."
Allow our people to pay more than folks who prove it was
You have it, Joe?
152 what?
Take it seriously. And some of the things that
1 hour. 1 hour.
Yes.
50 minutes, 0.32.
My banner white, please.
I was going to go on to other stuff while you were trying to look it up. So you could
go ahead.
That.
Yeah, go ahead. So, since we're getting low on time here. Yeah, keep going.
All right. So, I also wanted to say, I am with Rambo with the 50,000 Army, and today Melania put out a video, and I was really interested in that, and her stance as she walked out, she was firm and she was strong, like she was military. And her attire, because we know her clothing affirms comms. She was portrayed early on as a sexy model. And why would Trump put her as the first lady? You know, this is all planned. And I'm sorry, Dave, but I am with Rambo. This has been going on for so long before this. She was supposed to look like a.
Hang on. When have I said it wasn't?
No. You did say earlier on you thought this was going on for about 20 years, but
No. That's not at all my stance. No, I've never said that.
Okay. So you didn't say that, but
No,
anyway.
I said we have no idea how far back it goes. Some people argue Kennedy, some people argue Lincoln, and the reality of it is none of us can prove it either way. So
I actually believe it's gone on for 1,000 or more years. But
wait, are we talking about the battle for good for evil or the actual operation named Q? If we're going to say it, we should probably know what it is, right?
I think it's Q.
So you think do you think the Q operation's been going on for thousands of years? Okay, that's interesting.
Actually, possibly, yes.
Yeah, anything's possible. We have no way of knowing.
This is a woo-woo show, so you said everything's.
Everything's on the table. Absolutely. I just wanted to clarify.
You said everything is on the table.
I'm not here to debate you. I just wanted to be clear as to what we were talking about so the audience can understand.
But they showed her before she was dating Donald Trump, and she was a model that was shown extremely sexually in a lot of different things. But when I was growing up, I was a little girl. I'm 60 years old. We were taught etiquette. Put the book on your head, walk with poise, cross your legs, all of this. This is not the same person that they portrayed Melania to be. Yet now, this is the person who has the poise and the beauty and the excellence to be the leader, possibly wife of the head of the world. Why would they portray her to be a slut and then portray her to
all right?
be...
Well, you're also talking about the difference between when somebody was in their teens and 20s as a model, and now a woman that's in her 50s and is the first lady. I mean, that is reality. Models do get portrayed in bikinis and things like that.
Okay, but did she go to debutante school? What happened?
I can't answer that question. Joe, did you get anywhere with that clip?
I'm not saying it's not there, but the timestamp's not correct if it is. I have to go back and listen to the whole thing.
We're gonna have to keep digging into that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, I have 4 more people I have to get through in 10 minutes, and that we will dig into that one because I saw a few people say that they saw it too. So we'll have to see if you said that. That is a heck of an interesting comment. We will definitely dig into that one.
To come back because of the Melania stuff I was hearing, but I went back and I think it's very possible what you said. I just the timestamp's not matching with my RSBN copy.
All right, that's just what I.
Oh no, you'll if it happened, you'll see it tomorrow night. We'll certainly give you the hat tip for it.
We'll hat tip you, Garden Mist.
Yeah, thank you very much for the call. Appreciate you. Take care.
Love y'all. Have a good night.
All right. All right, let's keep going. We got to go rapid fire now. Right to Pain is next. Right to Pain.
Hello.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe I got through. Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
I'll be brief. Here in Michigan, I don't know what is going on, but the people you're meeting, the jobs that they're doing, I think they took too many shots because it's like The Walking Dead here. Everybody you've had on your show tonight is awake and can see it happening in front of us. What is going on is so unacceptable. The mental health of people, the facilities to house these people, there's not enough of them, and it's getting worse by the minute. Everything you guys hit on today, the Memphis explosion, Zach Payne had it on his Red Pill News, and he had brought it up, and I was like, well, I'm going to look into this accelerated systems, whatever. They're a military explosion place that has explosives that are going into the air of Memphis because it's annihilated. The whole thing is gone. So it reminds me of the Ohio oil spill that we had going. And I'm sitting here and I'm linking the toxins, right? I mean, they're just killing us quickly. And if Donald Trump, I'm with you guys. I pray that there is a Q operation and we're not being taken down by both sides. If he's got an operation going, I'm praying that that's the God's truth and that's our Hail Mary. But if he doesn't, we're all sitting here talking about all of the comms and all of the things they set up for us to believe in when we've got major shit going on right in our backyards.
Hey, right. Did I hear you correctly? You said that the facility that you were talking about is non-existent now. Is that what I heard you say?
It blew up. It exploded. And the toxins that were there in these explosives, you can go on to the accelerated, whoever's plant that is in Tennessee, you can go on to their their company site, and you can scroll down to what they manufacture and mine. Think about this, you guys. They blew it up just like they did Hawaii. Military bases. They said back in the day with Hawaii that there was a military base and they were trying to ruin some kind of, DEFCON or SIMCOM place that was there. And now we've got Memphis, this explosive, it's a military thing, and it's being exploded.
Right.
There's something.
Can I ask you a question? You mentioned Ohio, East Palestine. Have you actually researched how many people were poisoned and died there, despite what we were told in the mainstream media?
No, I haven't. But what I'm saying is for the narrative, right?
Right. But what I'm saying is, I'm bringing that up for a specific reason, because that was something that if you actually look at the real numbers, I'm not talking about Hawaii, I'm talking about East Palestine.
Okay.
There was something much deeper going on than the fear tactics that were given to us in the mainstream media. My gut is if you research the company behind that plant in Tennessee, you're going to find similar holes in the story.
And that wasn't it insured, you guys? Like something about an insurance.
I haven't fully gone into that yet, to be honest with you. So that's why I don't want to speak out of turn and tell you stuff that isn't true.
There's just one last thing I want to hit on, and I'll let you guys go.
Sure.
So here in Michigan, I am the guardian and conservator of my uncle. And in his paperwork that came to me, there's something going on with Social Security. Because my uncle became disabled before he was of age. So he used to get a check, one from my grandfather and one for SSDI, meaning he was an indigent person.
Yep.
They took away his funds and said they were doing an audit. And I said, an audit? Well, what are you auditing back to? And they said 1967. So somebody is auditing Social Security. Here in Michigan, Comerica Bank no longer exists. It's being sucked up by Fifth Third Bank. Like there's major moving going on.
Mm-hmm.
Do not have your money in the bank. Rambo, do not have your money in the bank. Put enough in to cover your bills and the necessities that you think you're going to need when shit goes down. Because even if we do go into insurrection, right? And there's going to be bumpy roads. We know it's going to be a minute before things calm down. And I'm just simply saying we have to protect, we have to keep communicating to people because everybody who called in tonight is awake and is one of those star seeds that's going to wake somebody else up. There are chosen people to lead, and you guys are doing an amazing job. And we have to do this for every one of us in our community.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the call.
Have a good night.
So much love, right?
Take care. Yep. Let's keep going with Beth. Beth, welcome.
Hey there. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
I just wanted to mention once again, it was curious to me that for some reason the video of the buses up at the Capitol when the black fence was put up with the razor wire on the inside,
2020.
they were shown again on different social medias this last week. And I think it probably has to do with cutting the government out and things. The other thing that's kind of connected to that, no, not connected to that, sorry. I got confused over a couple of the callers that I just listened to.
Me too.
So there's a lot of confusion.
It's okay.
Going on.
Keep going. It's all right. Keep
But
going.
anyway, what I wanted to mention one more time is I really want to encourage you to check out Robert Kraft of One United Republic, because he is filing papers and the shares have been purchased for the trust and the paperwork that is now going to link the Vatican to the Smithsonian and also to Fort Knox. That is going to be taken.
I've seen a number of interviews with him.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I know how good y'all are on details and going through and researching stuff. And the papers get filed tomorrow. And like y'all have said many times, the 10 days of darkness, and that could be what we're going through with.
Let me be very clear. We've never said 10 days of darkness because that doesn't appear in the Q drops.
There is no.
Well, I know, I'm not, but I'm just talking about what we may be going through with the shutdown.
Yeah. No, I just want to be very clear because people say there's a 10 days of darkness coming, and that's something that gets put out by many, many people. And I just want to be very, very clear. There is no 10 days of darkness in the Q drops.
I know what you're saying. He had just mentioned the darkness as far as the information, and that this was a time period that he could get this paperwork done and filed, because then they send it on. But it's the connection between the Vatican and the Smithsonian, and then the connection to Fort Knox. So I just wanted to mention that. But
the same Robert Kraft that owns the New England Patriots, right? He's
the one that does the One United Republic.
Okay.
Sorry about
y'all. I think you would really want to check into him, because he's an international lawyer. He's military Marine. He's also an ordained minister and studied about 550 books. And once you start listening to some of his stuff, and the fact that Captain Kyle really follows him quite a bit, as well as y'all and everything, I just think it all kind of rolls together. But
I have to be, Beth, I have to be perfectly honest with you, just because I don't like to placate anybody. I don't know.
Right.
I've watched the interviews, but I'm just going to be my personal opinion. By the way, as you know, I've done shows with Captain Kyle. I respect him very much. I personally don't believe, and if I'm proven wrong, I will be happy to come on here and say so. I personally don't believe that anyone that was actually doing something of that significance within the operation would be on a podcast talking about it. That's the only reason I don't like bring him on or anything. That's just my personal thing. And if I'm wrong, absolutely. I don't know. I can't prove it either way. So that's why I've watched it. It's certainly intriguing. I would absolutely encourage everyone here to also watch it and decide for themselves. But I also like to be honest and say what my thoughts are. And that's why I just, that's why I don't go any further. I kind of just take it as a data point. I say, wow, that's interesting. I just, but then I kind of question if I'd be seeing it on a podcast or not. That's just where I am with it. But you're absolutely right. Everyone should go out and watch it on their own. That's the whole reason we share information here.
Well, and just one other quick thing. I wanted to appreciate you for showing the cinematography and the lighting on those ice things with the guy with the 22 jersey.
Yeah.
And then also bringing up the Antifa square U table at the White House yesterday with the Nick Sorter guy.
Yep.
So y'all are right on the money. And I want to give props to Rambo. I've got 38 years sober, and I never would have thought I would have been sober 38 years.
Oh my gosh, you are an inspiration, young lady. Thank you so much.
I hope I can get out of these mountains of Virginia, because I found myself living in a house where the house is condemnable. There is no housing code, but I found a way to get out. So I'm hopefully going to be out of here by November.
Yeah, make sure you keep yourself safe. Don't go around codes if it puts you in an unsafe situation. But I meant it. You're an inspiration. That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Beth.
I appreciate it. All righty, thank you.
Take
care.
You
too. Bye-bye.
All right, here's what we're going to do. We're over 3 hours, and I want to be really respectful to AO and to Rambo, because they're donating their time tonight. I have Drew James, Lexi, Lesha Dawn, and Brad. Guys, I hate to do this, but I got to give each of you a minute. This way we can get off the air relatively quickly without not getting anybody in. So if I could ask everyone to please just kind of stick to that minute so we can keep going without having to leave anybody hanging, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's start with Drew James. What's up, buddy?
Hey, I'll be fast. The government shutdown. Let's talk about that. Dave, do you still listen to X22 every now and then?
Every now and then. Drew, you got a frog you got a frog in your microphone again, buddy.
Again? Really?
Yeah.
Great.
I'll come back to you. I promise.
All right.
Just try to fix that. I'll come back to you. Let me go to Lexi. Lexi, welcome.
Hi. So it kind of feels like the vibe right now is everyone's just like super frustrated with normal people and like just not believing us and everything. And so, you just like start to kind of question your own sanity because it's like, okay, no one's really believing me and you can't unlearn what you know. So my question is do you think at some point people are going to believe us, or are we just all going to remain on different conscious levels? Because like how do you not fall back into control by the cabal if people don't see the deception for themselves? Plus, like us normal people are just losing credibility with our family members and everything. So,
Good
I don't know
question.
what your thoughts are.
Well, the way to not lose credibility with your family members, which we've all probably made the mistake of doing, is just don't try to sway them. Do I think it's going to remain this way? No, definitely not. Like I said, I mean, you had a caller tonight that walked across the street and his neighbor said Charlie Kirk is alive. I don't mean to make it personal, but Joe knows 3 normies that I speak to regularly that are half my age, by the way. They're not even like, boomer conspiracy people that are talking to me about all this stuff. You have, we haven't even gotten to actual convictions and trials and evidence or anything. So my short answer would be absolutely not. There's simply, if we stay at the level of consciousness we're at, this whole thing has failed. What's the point? We're still in it. That's the reason we're still doing all these shows, is we're still in this operation. So it's a great question, Lexi. And I would say to you, like, definitely don't judge tomorrow or next week by what you're experiencing today.
Okay, yeah, I will tell my mom. She was having a bad day, and I'm like, no, it's fine, but I'll tell her you guys said so.
Give me 15 seconds, Lexi.
Okay.
The only deception that I think the seagrass, as we call it, needs to understand is the deception that got us to this point. The drops told us, the choice to know will be yours. As far as the deprogramming deception goes, no one has to know. We can have each other's backs throughout that because we see it, but the seagrass is never going to see that side of it. They're never going to, in my opinion, they're never going to have that level. And we have to be okay with that. The deprogramming deception is only to give the knowledge back so that we take responsibility for the power being given back to us. They don't have to know that Joe Biden was never president, right?
But how does that But how does that there's still deception though?
Oh, absolutely. There's
I mean, as long as we win, right? I mean, that's the big thing, right? As long as we win. But as far as like when you mentioned family, a lot of people got out over their skis, told people things didn't happen. I do believe there'll be some level of disclosure as far as they have to know that there was this cabal, right? That's been doing all these things. That's why they have to fix everything. There's going to be some level of that. I don't know what level, but I think it's going to be more than enough to validate you with like your family or others.
Boone Cutler did tell me to my face that it's just not time to talk about that yet. He did insinuate that there would come a time. So I do hold hope in that. I just don't think realistically that the whole world's ever going to figure out the full story. We're going to know, and we're going to talk about it.
They're going to figure out enough of the story where they're going to be willing to ask you about other pieces of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Great question.
Yeah,
Let me try to go back to Drew and see if he's got his frog out of his microphone. Drew, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Oh, you still got a frog, dude.
It literally sounds like a frog, bro. It's the funniest thing.
Go out and
Let's just do it.
Go out and come back in quickly, please. There he goes. All right, let me try to go to Brad. Brad, welcome.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Hey,
I just want to say thank you for what you guys do. It's truly amazing. I've not been listening long, and I shout out to my friend Kathy who introduced your show to me, and I share your show with everybody I can. You guys do a fantastic job. You got me better when you're a hockey fan. So, and Rambo, enjoy that time with your son and that windshield time. I traveled with my son to hockey games. It's the best time of your life. Never doubt.
Amen.
I've got a theory on something, a scare event, but it's too much to go into right now, respecting your time.
Try quickly. Come on, try quickly.
Oh, okay. So, you remember the movie Shooter with Mark Wahlberg?
Yep.
Yeah.
What do they say? If you want to kill somebody, do it while they're standing next to the president.
Okay.
And Donald Trump's too big of a character to take out of this movie. He's too critical to the movement. You can't take him out of the movie, and you got to take somebody out that's close to him, that's going to change the hearts and minds of millions of people. Who stands next to Donald Trump that could do that?
JD Vance.
Well, somebody closer to him.
Scavino.
Dan Scavino.
How about somebody who might have some Russian lineage?
Melania.
Yeah.
No, I can't deal with that, bro. That would hurt my soul.
Right. And how many people would that change? How many people would that affect? Even more than Charlie Kirk.
Bro, if you're right about this, I'm calling the feds on you, dude.
No.
I mean, I'm not an expert in history, but that would be unprecedented, wouldn't it?
She literally just came out and said, I'm working hand in hand specifically with
Vladimir Putin.
Okay. Well,
all right, Brad. Well, thanks for extending the show by 3 more hours.
You guys introduced me to Matrix Codebreaker, and I see numbers the same way he does. And you guys, your show kills it. And I would give you something a little stretchy Joe. Capital B looks like what number?
8.
A capital B?
8.
8, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So 88, would that also maybe be 22?
888022.
I like where your head's at.
22?
Yeah.
And you know what a lower B looks like?
Yeah.
6.
Upside down mirrored Q, lowercase Q.
Yep.
Right.
Good stuff, Brad.
Hey, I get it from you guys. You guys open so many eyes, and I appreciate what you do.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Brad.
You have a great weekend. Take care.
Shooter.
All right, we're gonna try Drew James again. Drew.
Ribbit.
All right. Can you hear me now?
I gotcha.
Yes.
All right. Good. All right. I'll quickly do this. But the government shut down. Like I asked you if you watched X-22, if you watched it recently, or if you
I probably haven't watched it in a couple weeks, to be honest.
A couple months. Okay.
No, couple weeks.
Oh, a couple weeks. Well, even when he does his financial report, basically the tariff system that Trump has brought in, he talks about the parallel economy that Trump is creating. That's what this government shutdown to me is about, because there's a couple programs that he's using the tariff money to keep them going.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to show that we don't need the Federal Reserve anymore, that it's been a scam this whole time. And is the government even going to come back the way it was? That's what I see.
Drew, I absolutely love that. And I'm glad you said it, because it's in the back of my head. I just don't want to get too far out over my skis.
I know.
Because
the
second I do that, they're going to reach a deal tomorrow. But I think
listen to Dave's last few reports that he did on the financial.
Dude, here's the really cool thing about Dave, X22 Dave.
Mm-hmm.
He has done what he does fearlessly for years. The dude is
of course.
And you know what? I tend to believe that he's been more accurate than inaccurate. It's just the time frame that he, just like many of us, were incapable of comprehending. And so at some point in time, Dave from X22 is going to be proven correct, in my opinion. And so
I also think he's one of the best. I see some people. There's always people talking smack about Dave. When
I know.
I don't get it.
It's the time
because every person in his audience right now, probably 99% of them came through that podcast. Dave from X22 is one of the most important on-ramps to the Q operation that there is. I personally believe.
Yep. Just because he doesn't believe everything else we believe, it doesn't mean he's not important. I mean, you can't throw out the baby with the bathwater.
Or he realizes the lane that he's speaking to. You know, the same way I don't do an Alex Jones and get on the air and go, Rambo, we're all going to die in a new world order. Well, because that's not my audience, right? So he knows his audience and he speaks to.
Frogs.
And that's the frogs gay. Which actually that turned out to be right, apparently.
Yeah. Plus, remember how we ended up talking about the whole we haven't talked about her in a while, but the whole with the Vatican gold being seized, and you need a narrative to bring that into the public.
That's
The
where
tariff system, the tariff system can be that. That's how the tariff system is working. I think that's how it's working in the background, and that's how we're going to get rid of the Federal Reserve. The moment he gets rid of the Federal Reserve or says fires a bunch of people in the IRS or just dismantles it, because if this goes past the 60-day deadline, that's when, a huge win. Plus the fact that you have Bessent in now and the price of silver and gold.
Well,
normally that would be knocked down
of course it would
from what it's at now.
They don't have the ability. They don't have the power
ability to do it anymore.
No, and in fact, Drew, I think everything you're saying is spot on. And if I had to give a barometer, this is kind of just something I've been noticing the last month and a half, 2 months. I think the less so gold, but I think silver. I think if you had to pick something that, like, what is a temperature gauge of how far we are in the operation? I think
look at the price of silver.
Look at the price of silver. The more you see silver going up, the closer we are to something happening with the financial system. It's almost like it's been a clock the last few months, especially in the last like 6 weeks since we broke through 40. I think you're spot on, dude.
50. Wait till it hits 50.
It's traded. You can trade it at 50 right now. It's over 50. It just didn't hit 50.
Oh, it is over 50 certain places.
I could on my app right now where I buy and sell.
The spot price is over.
They do international. Their spot at present is $50.44.
Wow.
In fact, if I sell to them right now, they will buy at about a $1 spread. So they'll buy at 49. If they're buying at 49, that means they're selling over 50.
That's unheard of.
Yep. So it's close.
It's
close.
We're
Drew.
close.
Great
cool,
call,
man.
Drew.
All right.
Thanks,
I'm glad
brother.
I don't sound like a frog anymore. All right,
brother. Talk to you soon. All right, and our last caller of the night, Lesha Dawn, thank you for waiting. Welcome.
Lesha.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you got a little bit of static, but try to fight through it.
Okay. Real quick, and I'll be under a minute, I promise. So, first thing, love you guys. Rainbow, I tried to give you a rant today on your show, and my rants were blocked, but for some reason they're not on News Treason.
That's okay.
Lesha, I can't hear you at all. Are you using a external microphone?
Yeah, check your plug.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, perfect.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. I'll keep it short. Love you guys. Rainbow, I tried to give you a rant today. Rumble blocked my rants. I don't know why, but they let me rant on News Treason this evening, which is weird.
That's just because Rumble actually likes me better than Rambo. That's what
figures coming from Dave. Anyway, exactly. Anyway, on the women in white, I'm a Gen X. I was brought up in the church, and we were taught that you couldn't wear white until Easter, and then you couldn't wear white after Labor Day. So I would be curious to know when that video was of The Undertaker where Trump was coming out. I don't know what month that was.
It was like it was October-ish time frame, because he didn't start doing that.
The not white. That would be the not white season.
I was going to mention that, but I didn't want to sound gay.
Oh, Ayo, hi, love you.
Hi.
And then the second thing, the previous caller said something about Boone Cutler and his interview with Rambo, and that's something that solidified the Q thing for me. It was later in my process, but that absolutely solidified the Q thing for me, the way he danced around it so nonchalantly. And the third thing is, I know you guys are going to announce something as far as a meet and greet tomorrow night, and I will totally be there. But
how would you know that? Oh, let me guess. Rambo jumped the gun on his show today.
It was a teaser.
Today? I did not.
I remember hearing it. I remember hearing it somewhere along the way this past week. But
show that
but I
both
just
Dave
but I
and
just
both-
want to drop a bug in your ear. I was an event manager and a convention services manager for Marriott for 8 years, and I still have connections. So if you guys want to set something up, I can totally set it up.
I did not say that today.
Not today. I didn't say it was today,
Agreed.
but I pay attention.
Wait, but I thought not white month was February.
No, it's not. It's like Labor Day, Memorial Day, to Labor Day.
It's from Easter. It's from Easter Day because you get dressed up on Easter to go to church, and little girls have their little white shoes and all that shit. But
when
sorry, but then my aunt, I remember distinctly when I was a teenager or preteen, my aunt was like, "You can't wear white after Labor Day." So there's a time period for white, and so if it's out of the time period, and most women, especially Gen X and older, know that there's a season for white.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, that's a fair point. Fair point.
So if it's out of season and they're wearing white, if it's in October and they're wearing white, that's off, especially if they're over 30, 40 years old. That's just
Well,
not
and if it
normal.
was Melania, right? Let's be honest. She'd obviously pay attention to that.
True that.
Fascinated, so.
Thank you, Lesha. Thank you so much for the call. I appreciate you waiting till the
Yep,
end. Thank
love
you so
y'all.
much. All right.
Thanks, Lesha.
Take care. That's going to do it for the callers tonight. Great job, everybody. Let me take 1 minute to thank our friend David Becker, who you guys saw on earlier. Open enrollment is now. This is the gentleman you want to call. You saw him on the show before. I'm going to play this, and then we'll do some final thoughts and thank yous for your rants.
Are you paying too much for your health insurance? Fall marks open enrollment and the time when insurance companies announce next year's rate increases. Some carriers are expecting premium hikes of 20 to 30%. For many, the high cost of medical insurance is about to get even worse. At Mid-Atlantic Business Alliance, David Becker and his son Jesse have been helping their clients keep their costs affordable while providing the best possible PPO coverage. The hospital and insurance systems are corrupt, and it is critical to have a trusted ally like Mid-Atlantic Business Alliance on your side. Dave and Jesse will help you navigate the system to help keep your premium affordable and your out-of-pocket costs to a minimum. Why not call today for a free quote? Call David Becker at 609-577-8557 or visit midatlanticba.com/news treason. That's David Becker at 609-577-8557 or visit midatlanticba.com/news treason.
And our thanks, as always, to our good friend David Becker. I'm going to ask you guys one last time. We had, looks like, nearly 12,000 plus people watching tonight on across all these platforms. If you're on X, hit the heart button. If you're on Rumble, hit the thumbs up. We greatly appreciate that. That's the best way you can support each and every one of us here on the screen. And thank you so much to Beer at the Parade. I have 1,700 $1 rants to read tonight, so we're going to be here for another 2 hours. No, I'm kidding. There are a lot, though, and we appreciate each and every one, though, all joking aside. So we'll start with Beer at the Parade, who kicked it off with a $1 rant. If every single viewer tipped $1 for every show, podcasters' lives would change overnight. Well, thank you, Beer. I would also argue that all you guys have already changed my life. So any support you give is greatly appreciated, but it's certainly not necessary. Noel Schwesky with a $1 rant says, "You are right, Beer." Angry Patriot 72 with a $1 rant. Great evening. Glad to get to hang with you guys. And Joe, love your raids on Absolute Storm. Where we go one, we go all. Nothing can stop what is coming. MedExam with a $1 rant. For the show, you guys are the best. Thank you, MedExam. Truth Matters 13 with a $1 rant. I agree, Scott. Thank you. But Mr. Leota, good to see you with a $1 rant. Everyone can make a difference. Thank you, my friend. Not Lost in Space with a $1 rant. Thanks for always rocking our Friday nights. I see what you did there. Thank you. Lily Sethier with a $1 rant. Scott, here's mine. I'm so thankful for this group. Thank you very much. Donna Fox 21 with a $1 rant. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you, Donna. BMCB 37 with a $1 rant. What a time to be alive. Where we go one, we go all. Thank you. ZHANNAZ Janice with a $1 rant. Here's my tip. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. JLB 5216 with a $5 rant. Y'all keep me sane. Thank you for all your due. Thank you very much. Dawn Lou 2001 with a $1 rant and just a winky face. Thank you, Dawn. C Furio with a $1 rant. Sending love. Thank you. Crazy Nana 1961 with a $1 rant and no comment, but thank you very much. BB McGuire, good to see you, my friend, with a $1 rant, says doing the dollar. Thank you.
Love BB.
Yeah, she was a co-host last Friday. Hey, she killed it. She did a great job. She'll be back. She'll be back again. Kat Shiner with a $2 rant. Thank you, Dave, for everything. AO and Rambo, I could do without them. Oh, I just made, I made I made up that second part. Thank you. JH Candy Bar with a $5 rant. $1 for me and $4 for 4 who can't. Paying it forward. Thank you very much. Missy Leck with a $20 rant. I'll cover a few, you guys. You all deserve it. Thank you very much. Janice Penman with a $2 rant. I'm doing the dollar times 2. Thank you, Janice. Good to see you. Freedom Gardner 17 with a $1 rant. Best dollar I've ever spent. Wow. High praise. Thank you very much. Yannick Dog 16 with a with a $10 rant. Let's talk about reptilians. Oof. I got a bunch of reptiles. I got a bunch of reptiles outside my door.
Me too. They're climbing all over this house.
I had to step over a frog yesterday to get to my mailbox.
Reptiles kind of creep me out. I'm going to be honest with you.
Dave, have you had this happen yet? I'm walking in from the car today, and the crack between the grass and my sidewalk, this crab jumps out, looks at me, does this, and runs away sideways.
Yeah.
In front of my house.
Yeah.
Dude, he was like this big.
Yeah. I mean, I like I said the other, I'm going to use the same joke again. I'd rather have lizards in my backyard than running my government.
That's true. Yeah.
So
well,
I'm fine with it.
It's just weird.
Yeah. Oslomio with a $1 rant. Doing the dollar before the market crashes. Thanks for all you do. Aloha USA 1 with a $1 rant. Thank you. Annie BU with a $1 rant. $1 in the tip jar. Thank you, Annie. Beer at the Parade once again with a $1 rant. The $1 holler. Thank you, Scott. Kathy Trump Kohler with a $5 rant. Can we please get a Q dating site in Florida going? I can help start it. And she left her contact email. I'll give it to Patrick. Maybe he wants to start one. I got too much on my plate to start a Q dating. You want to start a Q dating site in Florida, Joe?
No, I can't.
Yeah,
possibly.
Thank you, Kathy. Penny Lane 51 with a $1 rant. Love you boys. And this is the most beautiful chat family. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for everything you do, Penny. We see you in all the chats. Greatly appreciate you. Stone Arrow with a $1 rant. The shaking, terrified Mex Antifa guy was a total fake. Only the left hand, no knee bouncing. He's the only video of arrested inside Portland ICE. The guy is not real. I have to dig into that one more.
I believe you.
I certainly believe him. ITS8 with a $1 rant. Love you guys. BMCB 37 with a $5 rant. We are in the final act. Thanks for everything you all do. I have one question. Will the truth ever be spoken in front of the world that Q changed the world forever?
I think it already is. Donald Trump's throwing up memes with Q Plus in his hand. Dan Scavino, General Flynn, everybody is starting to make it more and more mainstream. Q is going mainstream. Yet again, the choice to know will be yours, but they're already telling you.
I think it will be in an overt way, but I don't think it's going to go to the level of we faked assassinations and we faked the presidency. That's just me. I think there will be.
Does it get any bigger than the president of the United States and the leader of the free world, the most famous person on the planet, saying Q plus? Here you go.
But Joe, this person is asking, will the seagrass ever be told? Like the rest of the population is never going to be where we are, right?
No.
So at a certain point, they still going to need some authority to tell them, here's what happened. That's the question.
Yeah,
and I think there will be a here's what's happened. I just don't think it's going to go to the level that people expect, and I'm okay with that. Like, will they acknowledge, like, hey, we had to start a back channel to get information out called Q, and there was a bunch of people that helped out with it, And yeah, of course they're going to do that. I think so. Are they going to say, we faked the presidency on the 5 o'clock news? I don't think so. If they do, awesome. But I just don't think so. But I think there will be absolute public acknowledgement of it.
Yeah.
Not that you're not wrong, Joe. It's ridiculous for even people to have to.
Hillary's going to get arrested on her Delta, so we'll be good. I'm just kidding.
Pam Lack with a $10 rant. Thank you guys. John Den Can with a $1 rant. Where we go one, we go all. Thank you. Rollerbug with a $1 rant. Awesome guys and mods rock. Much love, chat family. Thank you, Rollerbug. Emerson Biggins with a $1 rant. Love you guys. Thank you. P. Carrion with a $5 rant. Love the tip idea. Thank you very much. Art 151C1 with a $1 rant. Love you all. Thank you. Doc Cinderella with a $5 rant. Tucker covered UFOs again. I have not seen that, but I'll have to look that up later. D-String 1004 with a $1 rant. I'm loving the $1 holler. Great idea, Scott. You have such great energy. Yes, he does. Thank you. Lynn LM with a $5 rant. Love you guys. God bless you. Thank you, my friend. Patriot Starseed with a $1 rant. Love to all. Thank you. Mad Dad 2020 with a $1 rant. Buck in the jar. You deserve more. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Casey Kenzie with a $1 rant. Love you guys. Thank you. T. Gessner with a $1 rant. Holler back, youngin. Thank you. Kimberly Parrish with a $1 rant. Holler dollar. I see what you did there. Thank you. Trey in Texas with a $2 rant. Beer had the best idea ever. Here's $1 from me and my husband. First rant ever. We never miss open lines. Much love and thanks to all three of you guys. Thank you very much. Glad you guys are here. Amy Loves Sunshine with a $20 rant and a heart. Thank you, Amy. Pamela Holleran with a $5 rant. Great show as usual. Thank you, Pamela. Husker Hawk with a $1 rant. Bless both of you. Your shows have given. Bless both of you. Your shows have given much more hope than info. Hope, by the way, what's happened to 8-Track? 8-Track's on right now.
Yes.
I believe. Yep. Janice Penman with a $10 rant. I miss 8-Track being on your shows too. I wonder where he's been too. He's been around, guys. Everyone's just busy.
Yeah, he's still doing. Yeah, check him out. He's
Thursdays at I believe 5:30 Eastern time, and Friday nights 9:30 Eastern time. CO Stranger 67 with a $1 rant. Dollar holler, y'all. Snaz Patriot with a $1 rant. $1 to my good friends. Thanks. Thank you. Vermont Girl, VT Girl 1969 with a $2 rant. Here's your tip. You deserve much more. Love you guys. Thank you very much. Micro Toolmaker with $55 Rumble rant and 10 subscriptions. Where we go one, we go all. Thank you very much, Micro Toolmaker. Kermit for Swigler with a $5 rant. You guys are the best. Thank you. C Trench with a $5 rant and no comment, but thank you very much. Traditional Girl with a $5 rant. I'm afraid that my loved ones are the 5%. Have faith. Give it time. We're not even close to making that determination yet. Laura Ruggiero with a $5 rant. Thank you for all you do. Thank you. Claire Allen with a $17 rant. You guys deserve $17 hollers. Bless you. Thank you, Claire. Tracy 17 with a $1 rant. Here is $1 for beer. I will pass that along to beer. Thank you very much. Sting Tammy with a $10 rant. So it's a weird concept. We may not have had an active president. I've seen posts on Anon chats, JFK Jr. as vice president. I don't understand that even returning to the Republic and killing the corporation. That's a lot to get into right now. I would say be careful with the posts about JFK Jr. being the vice president. That's a fun theory and all, but if it's true, we'll find out. But there's absolutely zero way to prove that right now. That's just something a lot of people like to say. If it comes true, I'm here for it. C. Marie Wyrick with a $5 rant. My dad passed away on 8/26. Very sorry to hear that. I received a letter from the county dated 9/6 that he was removed from the voter rolls. My uncle passed in 2023 and my mom in 2013. Neither received one. I'm in Cali. Well, that's interesting. That means that maybe they are actually cleaning up voter rolls. If you got a letter, she got a letter 2 weeks after her father died that he was taken off the voter rolls in California. That's a pretty good sign. Maybe there's more coming.
Very good sign.
Yeah. Very good information. Thank you for that. Pamela Holloran with a $2 rant. In the 90s, Bart Sebrel was both saved and told by a self-described group as the White Hat contingent in a long-running secret civil war going on in the federal government. I'm not familiar with that name. Are you, Joe?
No.
Bart, S-I-B-R-E-L. I will look that up. Thank you. Deb Brenning with a $10 rant. Love listening to you guys. My husband used to think I was crazy with the stuff I listened to, but now he comes home from work and says, put on the conspiracies. You and Rambo changed his mind. Thank you. Wow. Thank you. That is very cool. That's awesome.
He sounds like an awesome dude.
Yeah.
I like that guy.
Gina L30 with a $50 rant. There's one thing on the ballot in California, Prop 50. The wording is ambiguous. It says, in response to Texas redistricting costing up to a few $1 million, an emotional money grab. Yeah, I think the redistricting thing is a part of the exposure they want us to fight for. But a lot of eyes on that one. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Thank you very much for that. Stephanie Truthfinder with a $1 rant. Everyone, it says, thank you. Test Fed with a $2 rant. I'm out, need to watch the replay. I just saw this fake book post. Do you think it's legit? I will copy that link and take a look at it. I don't know if I can open Facebook here because I'm not allowed to have it. World's first international governing body and judicial authority declares mRNA injections biological and technical weapons of mass destructions. The Alliance of Indigenous Nations International Tribunals. Dated October 8th, 2025. I have to do a whole lot more research into that to see. There's been some stuff like that we've gotten, some of these international bodies. We'll have to see how much water it holds, but thank you for sharing that. Quinny63 with a $17 rant. Q Peeps in Minnesota, Western Wisconsin, group get together at Pub Q 3:30. Free apps. We need each other about now. The website is, I will put it up on the screen right now. If you guys want to go check out Pub Q and you're in Minneapolis, this is the website right here, Quinny'sSportsPub.com. Thank you, Quinny. Appreciate that. One more $10 rant from Quinny. Ayo, the tweet my sister Sheila shared is the one that has all that matters is good triumphs over evil. Excellent. And she gets me in trouble sometimes with my normie customers. Thank you, Quinny. And again, one more time, 3:30. I guess that's tomorrow. But give it a check it out, guys. If you haven't met Quinny, you haven't gotten over there. Quinny'sSportsPub.com. It's become like a mecca for.
Does Quinny work there all the time? Because I have this like undying want to just like go there and just walk in by myself and sit down and like have dinner and see if Quinny.
I mean, she's an owner operator, so I know she's there a lot.
Probably there, yeah. That would be so fun.
I know she's there a lot. Jay Cherney with a $2 rant. I can afford to give $2 for Beer's new donation plan. You guys deserve it. Great idea. Thank you. Rachel Dawn Miller with a $2 rant. Thank you guys. Thank you, Rachel. Test Fed with a $2 rant. I'm able to watch live now. Here's the article linked to my other rant. What do you guys think of this as far as it being legit? I think that goes back to the other one. I'll have to take a deeper look into that. Thank you. Lesha Dawn XOXO with a $17 rant. Most women know you don't wear white in the off season. What month was that Undertaker clip? We talked about that on the air. It was the fall. Denise Volbrock with a $10 rant. Another awesome show tonight. What if the essay in the drops has changed to Sovereign Alliance? Just came to me. Love you here in the chat and appreciate the family vibe. Interesting thought. I would have to find a reason to connect that, but it's definitely an interesting thought. Not Lost in Space with a $1 rant. On Rumble, look up 4VKM, 40 Nights of Wrestling. They explain QComs and explain all the politics. I will look that up. Thank you. Peachy Fuzz with a $1 rant. I love you guys. Thank you. Coville with a $1 rant. The IRS has a first The IRS has the first ever CEO for any government agency in the history as of October 5th. What do you boys think? We'll have more to dig into that one tomorrow on D-Class. I have not had time to completely digest that one yet, but thank you. Rollerblug with a $1 rant. I'm a disability attorney, and yes, things are nuts right now. Thank you, and I believe that is it. One more here. Lady Deegan with a $5 rant. Please check out an older show called The Unit, Season 3, Episode 8, titled Play 16 at the 1549 mark. I think it has to do with Charlie Kirk. You get that, Joe?
Yes. Yeah, you also got a couple more late. Debbie Arya, 22, $5 rant. Love you guys, all of you. Thank you so much for all that you do. And you also got one here, just came in just a minute ago from Into It to RU, $5 rant. And I tried to give it $3 so you all could have a buck, but that doesn't work. Love you guys, $5 rant.
Okay. Also, Annie BU said, I just took day one of the wellness companies, ivermectin and mebendazole. Can't wait to see how I feel after the protocol. Thank you, Annie. As I said, I'm on that one too, and so far so good. I happen to like it. Star Knights with a $20 rant. You guys are amazing. Keep up the great work. Big Gouda with a $1 rant. Hollow dollar for gay beer.
That's that rainbow beer you can get.
Yeah, and I think you got the other ones. And I also want to acknowledge Lisa King 17, who donated 1 subscription, and Serving the Beast, who also became a monthly subscriber. Wow, that was a lot. Thank you guys so much. Let's finish up with some final thoughts so we can finally get you guys out of here. Rambo and Ao, thank you so much for being patient tonight with your time. I greatly appreciate it. I know the audience does as well. Let's run down the line. Start with Rambo. Let's get some final thoughts.
I can do this as quickly as possible. I want to say thank you. You guys took the roundtable show. It's that rated number 7 on the leaderboard all day long. And today's Friday show, Protect Your Mind and Control Your Emotions, with JF Non and Sapioplex, replaced it exactly at number 7 on the leaderboard right now. So thank you guys for that. And Dave, I have a few over here on Pilled, but this should be fairly quick. Secret Weapon gifted a cookie. Thank you very, very much. Unchained 01 gifted a cookie. I love you guys over on Pilled, by the way. Barb 17 gifted 117 gold pills. Enjoy your show. Thank you. Thank you back, Barb. Lori P gifted a ship, which is a big deal over on pill.net. Thank you very much, Lori P. Ohio Kimmy gifted a cookie. Thank you so much. ZR2anon with some shades. Thank you so much. Carrie Lake, 117 gold pills. Awesome. Appreciate you. Ghost Rider came in with a 1-month diamond tier subscription. That's rare over there. Ghost Rider and I go back a long ways, so I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for doing that. Dick Cobb gifted a cookie. Beer at the Parade. Here's my buck. Thank you so much. Sean Joe with a cookie. Sean Joe with another cookie. Sean Joe with another cookie. And I did release the scratching for any of you still watching. Thank you very much. I will see you guys all tomorrow for D-Class Saturday night version on Dave's channel. And it does get simul streamed to mine. And I saw all you guys tonight. The X22 comments brought up LT from And We Know. Should the universe align, I just want you guys to know that Dave and I are scheduled to interview LT this week. So look forward to it. It is confirmed. We are supposed to do the show. As long as everything works out, you will get to see Dave and I hang out with LT from And We Know, and I am really looking forward to it. The guy means a lot to me. So
how cool is that, man?
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Yep. AO. Actually, let me just acknowledge one more, please. Denise Volbrecht, again, with a $20 rant. Love Dave, Joe, and AO. Thank you so much, Denise. AO, your final thoughts, buddy, and let everyone know where they can find you.
Yeah, first of all, I mean, just going through all the, thank yous and acknowledgments, because it's important, really. I mean, this idea of larger family that we've all developed, and then even out to different groups that we're in, but it really kind of speaks to what we're doing, right? Because before all of this, we were all isolated and alone. And through this whole crap show, we've been able to kind of really come together and learn together, and not to sound sappy, but I mean, I just think it couldn't be more important. So I really appreciate being here. I appreciate everyone listening. Soros, heck, appreciate the white hats. Keep going, guys. Be Operation Outlaw on Rumble. I'm on Awaken to Outlaw on X and Truth, and that's all I got tonight, guys. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it.
And you're getting close to getting started, right?
Yes, finally.
Awesome.
Hey,
Been a delay.
do me a favor, Ao. Touch your nose if JFK Jr. is still alive.
Right.
Well, before the show tonight, I'm not going to give any information away, but I did get to find out that I'm actually going to get to hang out with AO in the not too distant future. So that made my night. That was cool. Unfortunately,
That's
I'm
cool.
stuck with Rambo right down the road, so I can't avoid hanging out with him. But looking forward to it, brother. It's going to be awesome.
That'd be great. Yeah, man.
And yeah, that's gonna do it. Let me ask you guys one last time. Like I said, you guys have put this show in like the top 3 on the leaderboard for I don't know how many Fridays in a row, and that's simply because you guys care so much and take the time to hit that thumbs up. So please take a minute to do that. I really want to sincerely thank all the callers once again. Again, a lot of new people took the plunge tonight, and that's what made it so great. You guys are all incredible, and like I said, I wish you guys could all have a picture of how this show used to go like a year ago versus what it is now. And that's all attributable to the growth of the audience in terms of their discernment and their knowledge and everything. I think that's just cool as hell. If you went back and watched this show a year ago, you wouldn't even recognize it. So I think that's really damn cool. As far as schedule, yeah, tomorrow night, guys, don't miss tomorrow night, 8 p.m. D-Class. I'll give you a little tease. It has to do with our friend, Professor David Clements. It has to do with the Insurrection Act. It has to do with some very interesting things that are going on right now. And it does look like, on top of LT, that most likely within the next week, if not within the next 2 weeks, he's already said yes, we will be having Professor David Clements on as a guest on D-Class. I'm hoping for next Saturday night, but we're going to start with something he did tomorrow night. We're going to have a whole show on it. I promise you, you won't want to miss it. So tune in tomorrow night at 8 p.m. For D-Class. Mark will also have to have a show on my channel as well. On Sunday as well for respect. And that's going to do it. I want to thank Carrie, Kat, Claudia, and Doug, our admins and mods, for all their help. I want to give my sincere thanks to Rambo and AO for hanging out tonight. Couldn't do it without you guys. And again, one last time, thank you to each and every one of you. Enjoy your weekend. Get outside, put your feet in the sand, put your feet in the dirt, focus on the signal, ignore the noise, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you guys. Have a great night. Take care, everybody.
Peace.
That song's from my old one-eyed father. Came back from the service with one eye. He never complained about it my whole life. And all the stuff I do for the great and mighty USO and all the good work they do for our fantastic military. It's all in dedication to my father. And I'd like to do this song for him tonight. American girls, American guys will always stand up and salute and always recognize when we see old glory.
That's treason. That's treason. They say, holy shit, they caught us. They caught us.
What story, Mr. President? You'll find out.